my daughter, and possible remedies that the family can actually seek redress from the court of law in relation to the publication of the video, which was everywhere in the social media before his demise. On one hand, if something is in the public interest, then of course you can also do what? You can publish it. But on the other hand, you also have to take into consideration individuals' rights enshrined in the law. And therefore, you will see that you have conflict of the right for public to know what is happening in individuals' lives, especially if the person in question is a public figure. And on the other hand, you also have to observe the rights of the individual, the right to private and family life. So you have these two conflicting rights, which we need to look at. And as an observer, as a citizen, as an individual, is there anything at all that we can all do to ensure that lessons are learned from this? And what we put out in the social media, we ought to be very, very careful. Because once it goes to social media, it doesn't come back. It stays there forever. As soon as it is put there, someone record it. Today, you might think that you are using it to score points. The next day, someone will be using it against you to score points. So it's very, very important that we do what? That we do consider this. Today, we are going to go very detailed in relation to UK border agency policies in the light of COVID-19. And as we know, there has been so many changes, rapid changes. 1 minute, a prime minister is saying something. The next minute, a minister is also saying something else. And as a result, it's causing a lot of confusion. And therefore, I felt that there is a need. It's important that I come here today and possibly talk about this today so that people, those who haven't had the chance to possibly to look at or to know what is happening, will also be able to benefit from this program. During the course of the week, I have received so many telephone calls where people have actually asked as to whether there is a policy of indefinite leave to remain, which is going to be granted to family members of those working within the NHS. And there is that speculation. So today, I'm just going to go through all the Home Office policies, which I believe will be very, very beneficial to people watching us and also your family members. For those reasons, I will ask anyone who has tuned in to watch us this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you are watching us from, I will also encourage you to share the program as much as you can, because last week we all did fantastically well. Before the program was finished, we have had over 200 people sharing the program. And in fact, by Saturday evening, we had about 1,600 views. Sunday morning, we are nearly 2,000. And by mistake, I did press a button and it deleted the program last week. A lot of people were calling that they've been there, they couldn't see it. Please do forgive me, because I was trying to get it across everywhere and as much as we could. So we will ask that you do what? That you share the program so that people can also benefit from today's program. And I believe that by all means, you will do what? You will share the program as much as you can. Some people have also indicated that they are finding it difficult to watch it on YouTube. on Facebook. So we also do the best that we can, and we can also hopefully try and put it on YouTube as well. So if you are watching us, by all means, share the program as much as you can. We have Boss Lady Rosemary Edia, Boss Lady Bakope joining us, and I believe that you are doing the sharing. We also have B Blinks. You've also tuned in, watching us live. We have Inspector Ama Aduma. Also, thank you for tuning in, and also thank you for keeping me in the hoop or in the loop. As soon as she hear anything straight away, she get in touch. Bracken, also thank you for tuning in. I know that you are all enjoying the program as we speak, and I believe that you will also share, because it will help a lot of people. By sharing also means that you are also helping to educate the masses. So please do all that you can and share as much as you can, and share until you drop. Nana Ajiman, also thank you for joining us and also for sharing. You are, I think you deserve an award, because I could see that every Ghanaian program, you do the best that you can and you share it to people as much as you can. May the Lord Almighty bless you all for your time, and we do appreciate that. Mr. Alexander Ofosu, Wolverhampton, wherever you are, good morning to you. You've also tuned in, and we could see that you are also sharing the program. Rita Abebu, also thank you for tuning in. My own brother from different mother, Mr. Samuel Boateng, also thank you for tuning in. Ghana Bako, yes, thank you for tuning in and thank you for sharing. Mr. Nana Bob, also wherever you are, good morning to you. Tai Lee, salam alaikum. Yes, alaikum salam. Wherever you are, may the Lord Almighty, Allah bless you. Tai Lee, also maybe I will be and anope. I tend to speak, I try to speak a lot of English, because of the fact that we have a lot of people also watching us who are not Guyanese, and therefore we try the best that we can to also cater for them. So I do apologize if sometimes, maybe it's too much for you, but we will try the best that we can to mix it up, so that we all learn from what is happening. Mr. Kofi, Mikey, Mickey, wherever you are, good morning to you. We believe that you will also share the program to all people on your Facebook and also to your WhatsApp group. If you want to share it on your WhatsApp group, all that you have to do is to copy the link on your Facebook wall and simply drop it on your wall or on your WhatsApp group. They will also be able to benefit from today's program. It's a very, very lengthy stuff that I'm going to be talking about today. And I must say this, many a times, once you finish the program, that is where people will start calling you, making up all sorts of excuses. I couldn't call, I couldn't listen to the program, so give me another update. Please bear in mind, time is very, very crucial. And once we spend time to do the program, we cannot, and you cannot be expecting us to go back and give you another breakdown of a program that we have simply done. So please, let's make good use of our time, because it will help you, it will help me, so that I can use that time to do more research for other stuff. So those people who intend, or those people who normally call straight after the show and start asking questions, I do apologize. As soon as we finish today's program, the telephone will be switched off, and I will not be able to answer any telephone calls. The reason being that I have booked an appointment for people. We have people whose visas are about to expire. They are desperate. Their employers are threatening them with sacking. And therefore, I ought to use that time to help those people. If I use that time to continue to, answer questions after a show has been done, addressing the same question, you are not being fair to me, and I'm not being fair to those people who have booked an appointment for me to be able to attend to them. So let's be fair to each other, and let's, be practical to each other, so that we can all benefit from each other's participation and each other's time. So today, after the show, we will not be able to answer any question. I am saying this so that it doesn't become sort of a matter of complaint, and therefore we all have to bear this in mind. Today, we are going to be talking about COVID-19 UK Border Agency policies as at 22nd of May 2020. Some of these policies, I believe that you may be aware of, and some of these policies, maybe you do not understand exactly what they mean by what is happening. In fact, I've had so many telephone calls. People are asking all sorts of questions, and people are basically misconstruing the information that is out there or the policy that has been announced. And therefore, I think it's important that today I take my time and go through each policy one by one so that we get a better understanding. Because this is the time that I believe some crooks will take advantage of people. Why? Because they will spread out falsehoods. They will give false information out. And then people will begin to believe that they will be able to benefit from certain policy. They get themselves into it. They go to see these people. And what happens is that they take their money. They do the applications for them. The applications are not successful. They are unable to get their monies back. So for me, it's very, very important that we do what? That we understand what is happening, and so that nobody takes advantage of us. It's very, very important. It's crucial that we all learn from this. Because if you don't, someone is out there ready to pounce on you, take money from you, and basically take advantage of you. So we need to also watch out. Mr. Emmanuel Adade Mafo, thank you very much, the man with his own ideas, for joining and for sharing and all your support over the years. Mr. Moses Buama, also thank you very much for joining us and for your support over the last 10 years. You've been a rock, the king of Bompata. I salute you. Bonaventure Bona, also thank you very much for joining us. Nanaya Berima, yes, also thank you for joining us. We do appreciate and thank you for your support. Pearl Boatena, one of my sisters in the UK, also thank you very much for joining us. And greetings to Mr. Wherever he is. Express my thanks and also greeting for me for his continuous support and spreading the word. Mr. Kweku Edu, also thank you for joining us. Mr. Eric Efrifa, also thank you for joining us. Akosia Inshiraba Apia, also wherever you are, thank you for joining us. Cynthia Asante, the Queen Mother of Swindon, wherever you are, thank you for joining us. Mali, be quiet. I'm sorry about this. Kweku Edu, yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Now let's get into business. Let's go into the program. Sorry about all this. Forget the dog. Let's just do some law. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Thank you very much. Now let's go to what has happened over the course of the week. Please, if you are watching me, please do the best that you can and share the program. The reason being that, if people know what is happening, some of these policies may be beneficial to them. They can then take advantage of the policy and do what? And basically benefit from it. Even if they will not be able to benefit direct, they may know someone who may be able to benefit. In life, you strike whilst the iron is hot. Don't wait until it is over. And penifo can simply say, so unsa dema ye ninyao, weni edemudia yidijao. So it's very, very important that whilst the policy is active, whilst the policy is alive, where the policy is, is in full vim, this is where we also need to look at. So we're going to be looking at visa extensions and other concessions as at 22nd of May by the UK Visa and Immigration Department. So basically, we'll be looking at the general policy. We'll be looking at switching your visa. We'll be looking at NHS workers. We'll be looking at students. We'll be looking at sponsors' duties. And we'll also be looking at special hotline that the UK Border Agency has generated to help people. We will also be looking at travel to the UK. And under travel to the UK, we'll be looking at the compulsory quarantine, which was updated on the 21st of May, 2020. We will also be looking at expiring entry clearance visas. Some people have traveled to the UK. Their visas have expired, about to expire. They are very, very concerned as to what is going to happen. Also, we'll be looking at visa centers overseas, as to whether there has been an announcement or whether there's going to be an announcement in relation to where the visa application centers reopen. We'll be looking at that as well. So we have a lot of stuff to cover today. We'll also be looking at applications from within the UK. We'll be looking at that as well, if you want to make an application from within the UK. Then we will also be looking at immigration tribunal hearings, what is happening. Overview, we'll be looking at remote hearings. We'll be looking at remote hearings at the first tier tribunal and also at the upper tier tribunal. Time permits, we'll be looking at asylum, intake and interviews, asylum support, travel documents, and other resources. We will then also jump on to enforcement, immigration detention, removals, bail reporting, and also other resources. Then we will look at hostile environment, right to work checks, and then right to rent checks. This week, I have spent a lot of time, fighting employers, fighting landlords in relation to people's right to rent and people's right to work whilst their application is pending. It's been very, very, very strange how people are behaving in these difficult times. We'll be looking at NHS coronavirus testing. No recourse to public funds. We'll be looking at that again. And then we'll be looking at EU settlement scheme in brief. And if there is a time, or if there is time, we will also be looking at NHS concession, especially whether family members of NHS workers qualify for automatic indefinite leave to remain. It's very important that we understand the policies. We should not assume that it applies to everyone. I have had a lot of phone calls during the course of the week. People are asking whether there's going to be automatic automatic indefinite leave to remain to NHS nationals and their family members, and as to whether there's going to be a blanket policy in relation to the waiving of NHS fees to those people who are, i.e. family members are working within the NHS. I have spoken to a lot of people. I've explained the legal position and what they ought to do, what they need to do. So those people who have just joined us, please do share the program for us as much as you can. And the time permits, we'll be looking at the admissibility of secret recordings and the legality of secret recordings and publication of such instruments, whether under Ghana law or even UK law, whether it is legal or illegal is very, very important, especially in the light of the passing of Apraku, my daughter, this week. One of the radio presenters, I think, interviewed some of the family members, and they feel very, very, very bitter about it. And they are linking the publication of the video, which was circulated in the social media just days or maybe a day before his demise to that recording. So we will see whether, under Ghana law, whether in fact the person who did the recording has actually broken any law, and as to whether any legal action can be taken against people. As we all know, at least we may be aware, that, there is, laws against publication of falsehoods in the social media and publication of unauthorized audio and video and so on and so forth. So we will do the best that we can to also address that issue. For me, it's not about condemning someone or blaming someone, but it's about lessons that can be learned from these experiences. So we'll be looking in particular under Ghana law and the Evidence Act of 1975. We'll be looking at that and see whether a crime or perhaps the family can bring proceedings, or perhaps they will have any remedy against the person who did the video. So we'll be looking at that as well. So we have a lot to cover today. So let me just start with the update in terms of immigration, i.e., especially those who have come to the UK to visit, or who have come to the UK for other reasons, and their visas expired between 24th of January 2020 and before 31st of May 2020. Home Office have updated their records or their policy. What the Home Office is now saying is that these people's visas will be renewed, i.e., they will renew it up to 31st of July, because Home Office initially were hoping that this policy will be enough by 31st of May. The COVID-19 situation would have died down. But unfortunately, when you look at the R, i.e. the reproductive rate, they're saying that it's stable, and therefore it's still a bit dangerous. You see, this is where people have to take this serious, because this disease is very, very serious. People are dying. I have seen, or at least I've come across a case about someone who is early 20s. The person has passed on because of COVID-19. So please do not joke with this illness. Do not joke with this illness at all. The reason being that this COVID-19, it kills, and it can kill you, and it is continuing to kill. Sometimes when you try to explain to people and they refuse to understand it, it baffles me. It really, really do. Some people do not care about their lives, but those who care about their lives continue to care about your life, because at the end of the day, you have only one life. And once you are gone, you are gone. You're going to leave family behind. Believe me, people will only remember you for 1 week. After your funeral is done, nobody cares. That is a fact of life. And even if people do care, how much would they go on caring? They will only sympathize with your children and those people that you left behind. For how long can they be there for them? So we really, really, really have to step up. We really have to be very, very careful. So what I say is this: Home Office have realized the seriousness of this illness, and therefore they have extended their policy up to 31st of July 2020. What the Home Office is saying is this: of those people who have come to the UK, those people who are here and they cannot leave, no true fault of their own, no flights, or no planes are now leaving the UK commercially. And for that reason, their visas automatically, they will extend it to 31st of July. And it is hoping that by that time, the situation would have gone down. Once again, to do that and get the benefit of this extension, you need to send an email to the Home Office, to their COVID-19 team at the Home Office, so that they will take your details and basically automatically acknowledge that, so that in the future, if you are making an application, it cannot be used against you. What they are saying is that those people who have already sent an email, they shouldn't have to do anything. But those people who have not sent them an email before that, then of course, by all means, please do the best that you can and do what, and send them their email so that they can do what they can. They can update their records and also put you on their records so that in the future, it will not affect any application that you make as an overstayer. So that aside, the second one that we will talk about is in relation to those people who obtain visas outside the UK, and those people were meant to travel to the UK, and before their travel, all what happened was that unfortunately there was COVID-19 pandemic. It was announced, and therefore they didn't know what to do. In fact, I have about 5 or 6 clients who are now stuck in other countries, and in particular Ghana. Unfortunate for them, or fortunate for them, their visas applications were successful, As soon as they got the visa, problem strike. What happened? There was a pandemic, and therefore they could not travel during the lifetime of the visa, and therefore they are stuck in Ghana. Once again, Home Office have updated their policies that they need to send an email. So if you are watching me and you are a client of Justice and Law Solicitors, please bring my attention to this so that I can update the Home Office and update their records for you, so that as soon as the VAC Visa Application Center is opened, then I will then be able to notify you. You can then go and do what? And collect a new visa to enable you to travel to the UK. When you go to the Home Office website to basically to advise them that you are one of those people, the information that they will ask is your Home Office reference number, if you have one. If you don't have one, just leave it blank. If you don't know it, just leave it blank. Do not worry about it. But you need to insert your first name and your GWF number. When you are applying for any visa from outside the UK, once you submit the application, on the application form, automatically they will generate something called GWF reference number, which consists of, I think, about 16-digit numbers. All that you have to do is to put that number in there, and they will ask for your email address, your date of birth, and the type of visa that was issued to you, and the place in which the visa was issued, and the expiry date of the visa. So you put all this into the system, and then you submit. The latest UK Border Agency guidelines, what is telling us is that they will keep your details, and as soon as the visa application center is opened, what they will do is to send an email for you to print out and for you to go and do what? And submit your passport again. And once the passport is submitted, you leave it for them. They will send it back to the UK for a new visa to be issued to you. So it's very, very important that we are aware of this. So if you have not already done this, if you know someone who obtained a visa and the person falls within this category, I beg, let the person know that there is something out there that the person would then be able to do what to do in order to extend or in order to acquire a new visa. Because if you don't follow the guidelines that is being given and you don't take the necessary action, unfortunately, once we come out of it, Home Office could come up with another policy. The effect is that instead of getting it for free, you could actually end up paying for the visa to be extended. So please, if you know anyone in this situation, do the best that you can and pass on this information, or perhaps better still, share the program with them so that they can also benefit from today's program. Those who have just joined us, once again, today our target is to try and get about over 200 people sharing, or share it 200 times. Last week, we all did fantastically well. Before the program, we have over 200 people sharing the program. And the more we share, the more we are able to benefit, also to help other people. Mr. Ben Gansa, also thank you for joining us. Mr. Ketchley Melting Kings, also thank you very much for joining us. All those who have tuned in. Mr. O, also thank you for joining us. I believe that you're going to share the program as well. Madam Kumpon, Chris Waddell Mensah, we believe that you are all going to share the program. Diana Latte, also thank you for joining us. Okay, I believe that, yes, Mr. Eddie Ajay, yes, thank you for joining us. So please do the best that you can. Share the program that, as much as you can. Mr. Peter Baidu, Edinburgh, also thank you for joining us. As soon as you join us, please do share the program so that people can also benefit from today's program. Now let's go to the next one. The next one is about the NHS workers. You see, this week I posted something on my wall about the NHS, people working within the NHS. And in fact, there has been kind of ding dong, whereby on one hand, the government was playing tough. The government did not want to change anything. In fact, this week, the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, was pushing through the immigration bill, which basically, in short, is about withdrawal from the European Community and also implementation of IHS fees, which it has been anticipated is going to go to about £624 if from September, October, November going, and people fighting against it in the sense that they don't believe that it is fair. And in fact, some people working within the NHS, in fact, people raised, people spoke, and people believed that it was unfair, especially you are working in the NHS, you are putting your life on the line so that you and I can live. And yet they are being asked, because they are foreign nationals, because they are born in another country, they are putting their lives at risk, but yet they are being directly or indirectly, some people call it punishment, some people say they are being forced, some people say they are being made to pay the NHS fees in order that if they are ill, they will be able to use the NHS. Some people felt that this was not the best way to treat people, especially those people putting their lives on the line. So there has been a lot of criticism of the government. And in fact, the Labour leader, Keir Starmer, I think either Tuesday or Wednesday, attacked the Prime Minister at Parliament, PMK's Prime Minister's Question Time, as to the fairness of the IHS system, and especially in the light of nurses, doctors, and those people working within the NHS sector. The Prime Minister at Question Time made it very clear that yes, they have to pay, he's not going to reconsider it, and so on and so forth. But as we know, political pressure, the next day, the Prime Minister turned around and said that he has authorized the Home Secretary, i.e. to ensure that those working within the NHS and their family members are taken care of. And as we know, they have already made some concessions. The first one is some NHS workers and their family members, they were or they are to get 1 year extension automatically. And what they did was that you just have to give your card to the trust that you are working for, and then the trust will get in touch with the Home Office. And therefore, this announcement was made on 31st of March for you to get 1 year extension. You see, the problem that I had with this policy was that I was a bit concerned in the sense that it wasn't that very, very clear as to the implications of getting this type of visas. Once again, some people decided that if it's free, why not go and get it? But for me, my advice to those people who are already on a 10-year route or 5-year route was to stick to their route to indefinite. Because, I always believe that there's nothing free. Everything that you get for free, there is always a price to pay somewhere, somehow along the line. That is the reason why Gregory Isaacs, he says something that I will never forget. I say, I give my hand to the devil, but I give my hand to the devil with caution. You see, nothing is free. There's nothing called free lunch. The implications, I don't know, but we will yet to see. Because my theory, my understanding was that this policy, because we need people to stay and work, especially in the light of the pandemic, it was meant, I think, to attract those people who are already working in the sector, whose visas were expiring, so that this will entice them to stay for another year. And therefore, if you are working within the sector already, and you have another means of staying here, then what is the point of switching to that? And that 1 year, what is it going to do for you? Is it going to change anything? Because you still have to apply 4 times anyway in order to accumulate the 10 years. So these are some of the things that I was looking at, and I started advising people that it's not worth it, because you might get it for free for now. You still have to pay for the application either 4 times or 2 times. So why don't you just stick to what you have, and then when the time is up, go for your indefinite. So that was my take. This announcement was made on 31st of March, 2020, and it was estimated that over 2,800 people, 2,800 doctors, nurses, and paramedics will leave due to expire. You see, due to expire by 1st of October, will get a free 1-year extension. So if you have leave, and the leave is going to expire after 31st of October, sorry, after 1st of October 2020, by definition, it does not apply to you. This is where people ought to be very, very careful, because sometimes when the announcement is made, it looks so simple. But when you look at the details, you know, that's what they say, that the devil is in the details. When you look at the details, you could see that it does not apply to anyone that works in the health sector. If you're a doctor, does not mean that automatically you are going to get 1 year free, because the policy goes on to say that you must have a visa which is going to expire by 31st of October. As I was saying, as aforementioned, it's very, very clear what the policy is, and it's very, very clear what they are trying to say. So on 29th of April, the department, i.e. the Home Secretary, also made an announcement that they were extending the scheme to cover other frontline workers, including midwives, radiographers, social workers, and pharmacists with visas due to expire before 1st of October 2020. If you have a visa that is due to expire before 1st of October 2020, then you could consider this. A letter from the Home Office Affairs Committee on the same date confirmed that the extensions are also available to anyone on the list of professions covered under the immigration control, and not just sponsored migrants workers on a tier 2. And the full list, if you want, you can go to gov.uk guidance page, and I have actually selected it, and I'm going to read it out. The full list are as follows: biochemist, biological scientist, dental practitioner, health professional, medical practitioner, medical radiographer, midwife, nurse, occupational therapist, ophthalmologist, paramedic, pharmacist, physiotherapist, podiatrist, psychologist, social worker, speech and language therapist, and therapy professional. All these professions, half of them I haven't got a clue of what they are talking about. So they have included all these professions. But the caveat is that if your visa will be expiring between now and 1st of October, then you can consider making this application for an extension of 1 year to enable you to remain in the UK. Those people who have joined us, we will also encourage you to share the program for us. Please do the best that you can. Also, this is the catch that people are very, very confused about, NHS workers again. The policy also says that family members of NHS workers who die from COVID-19 can get indefinite leave to remain for free. On 20th of May, the Home Secretary said that this was being extended to cover NHS support staff and social care workers as well. So, let's listen to the policy and what the policy says. I have had a lot of people calling me up and asking questions as to whether people can actually benefit from this policy. And we need to be able to do what? We need to be able to, if you like, understand the policy. We need to understand this policy. What it says, I'm going to take my time and break it down. Family members of NHS workers. So in order to be able to benefit from this policy, you have to be a family member of an NHS worker. And the worker must die. Listen to this. The worker must die. Not just death, but the death must be attributed to COVID-19. The death must be attributed to COVID-19 before you, the family member, can get indefinite leave to remain. This has been extended as at 20th of May, which is 3 days ago, by the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, that this policy has been extended to cover NHS support staff and social workers. And those people who have been affected must contact the UKVI, that is United Kingdom Visa and Immigration team at the Home Office. And the email address is as follows: U for universe, K for kilo, V for Virginia, I for indigo, N for November, H for hotel, S for sugar, T for tango, E for echo, A for apple, M for mother, at homeoffice.gov.uk. So the email address again, UKVIINHSTEAM at homeoffice.gov.uk. So if you know someone whose parent or family member, or you have the person is a family member of an NHS worker, and they have passed on, and they are in the UK, they will be able to benefit from this concessionary policy. But in order for that person to benefit from this policy, the parent must die. The parent must die as a result of COVID-19 before the individual can benefit from this policy to get indefinite. So it is not the case that if your family member is working for the NHS, automatically you will get indefinite leave to remain. Some people say it's a good news, but I say that it is a very bad news. Why is it a bad news? Why is it that someone have to die in order for you to benefit from it? For me, I think it's a very cruel policy. Whilst it may benefit some people in some way, but I don't like the wording of that policy. You see, I find it very, very, very uncomfortable. You know, because what would have been better is maybe as a recognition of the hard work, the NHS staff members, other support staff, social workers. Whilst we are running from danger, they are actually running towards danger. And as a recognition, they should be granted indefinite leave to remain or some sort of leave to remain. on the basis that their parents have made the ultimate sacrifice by taking the risk, which they don't need, so that you and I can live. But unfortunately, the policy is that in order for you to benefit, your parents must die first. And some people say it's good news. I mean, I beg to differ. I don't see how good this is. It would have been good in my books if the policy was a blanket policy as a recognition for the hard work that men and women do in this country to save the NHS and also to save lives. So anyway, that is how it is, good or bad. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Not much that I can do about that. That is the policy that is out there. So if you know someone who has lost a parent and the person doesn't have indefinite leave to remain, then by all means, the individual will be able to do what? Take this policy and get indefinite leave to remain. Now let's look at students. The Home Office have released a separate documents on coronavirus and student visas as at 20th of April, and it covers a number of temporary immigration concessions for those on Tier 4 and short-term student visas, which will be withdrawn once the situation returns to normal. And basically, the section of the document is aimed at individual students, and it covers distance learning. So now if you're a student and your providers are able to implement distant learning policies, Home Office say that they will accept that as attending school. As we know, if you're a student and you don't attend school, the school can report you to the Home Office for non-attendance. But in the light of COVID-19, everything is in the air. So Home Office are now saying that they will permit distant learning, whereby you meet at Google Meet or maybe Zoom Meet and whatnot, and you can attend schooling through that. Extending a Tier 4 student visa can be done online with the General Home Office policy. Students who need to repeat a year, retake a module, or resit an exam are exempt from demonstrating academic progression, as they would normally be the case for those applying in the UK. Also, police registration has been suspended. Certain nationals, if you are in the UK, you have to report to the police. That has been suspended. Also, working hours, 20-hour-a-week restriction has been lifted for doctors, nurses, paramedics, and those whose sponsor has suspended or study. So people should also put this in their minds. Also, volunteering is now permitted for NHS volunteer responders. This is something that if you're a student, you also have to watch out for. Permitted volunteers. It has now permitted. It's now permitted. Social distancing, once again, applies to overseas students, just like everybody else. Time limits. Home Office says that discretion may be applied if someone applies for an extension that will take them over the normal maximum period allowed on a Tier 4 visa. Also, right to rent checks can be done remotely. If you're a landlord and you want to check whether a potential tenant has got the right to check, then of course, you can do it remotely. For short-term students, in-country switching into Tier 4 from short-term routes will be allowed on an exceptional basis until at least 31st of May 2020. Some people may have come into the country with a short-term student visa. Home Office say that they will allow extension and exceptional basis. So it depends on individual cases. You should be able to make an application. Permitted study. Short-term students who have been given an exceptional extension of leave in this category as a result of COVID-19 will be permitted to study on a further course other than that which they originally entered the UK to undertake. So if you're a student, this area goes for the students. These are all some of the policies that has come that will be in your favor. If you wish, And if you need more information, you can get in touch with Justice and Law Solicitors, and we will do the best that we can to assist you in extending your visas. Also, extending short-term study leave are not catered for, would not to be an application for leave outside the rules. What they are saying is this: if you are studying, if you have a short-term study visa, it is not a way for you to stay in the UK. That is the warning. But Home Office have said that under exceptional circumstances, they will be able to do what? They will be able to extend it for you. Now, we have the sponsor's duties, which we also have to cover, so that if you know your rights and you know the duties of the sponsor, it makes life a little bit simple for everyone involved. On 27th of March, the Home Office published a coronavirus guidance page for organizations that sponsor overseas workers or students under Tier 4 and Tier 5 and Tier 2 on the point-based system. And what they said is that if you are a sponsor, you do not have, there's no longer requirement on you to report absence or students if they are unable to attend your premises to carry out the work that they are supposed to work or to attend school. The reason being that, unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 and social distancing, individuals are not allowed even to go out. And therefore, if they do not attend schooling, then of course, do not take it as a form of punishment to punish these individuals, because it is not their fault that they find themselves in this situation. The coronavirus email address is cih@homeoffice.gov.uk. That is if you have a visa in the UK, or if you have been granted a visa and you need to extend it, then by all means, this is the email address that you need to send your email to with the details that I have already provided you. So it's important that you do what? You get in touch, especially those people who have been granted visas already and their visas are about to expire, or perhaps they could not come to the UK because of the fact that there was pandemic and there was a total lockdown in international airspaces, and as a result, they were unable to come to the UK, or perhaps as a result, you were unable to leave the United Kingdom. So this is something that I think we all ought to be aware. The email address again is cih@thehomeoffice.gov.uk that you need to contact. So that is that. We will perhaps 1 hour is already gone. Strange enough, surprisingly, time flies when you are talking. The time is flying so fast. We've done 1 hour already. I'm very tempted to take a commercial break. And once we come back, we will then be able to do what? We will then be able to, if you like, continue the program. But before that, I will do what? I will talk about this, and then we take a break. And when we come back, we continue the program. So bear with us. What am I going to be talking about? Once again, I have had a lot of people calling us, and they want to know as to whether the Home Office have reopened and whether they are back in business. People have been calling all the time. I'm asking this question. As we all know, when it comes to the Home Office, someone have asked for our number. By all means, we will put our number up. People can call us if they need legal advice and legal services, so that we can also help them. So by all means, I'll do the best I can during the commercial break. Type our numbers up. If someone have our number, by all means, they can also do what? They can post it there for us on the comment section, so that people can also benefit from today's program. If you have just tuned in, I will also encourage you to share the program with all people on your Facebook walls, on your programs, so that they can also benefit from today's program. Because today I intend to give all the updates from UK Border Agency in terms of UK immigration and nationality law. We are not going to leave anything out. And I believe that people will benefit from it because I've had so many people asking questions. Some of it has been twisted. And for me, it's important that people get the full facts so that when they are making decisions, they can make an informed decision. It's very, very vital. So thank you all for tuning in and share the program if you are just tuning in for us so that people can benefit. So share until you can share no more. Please do share the program. I believe that we will all benefit from it. Okay, now visa application centers. What is the situation with visa application centers? As we all know, it's been some time now where British High Commission, originally that was the place that when you submitting your visas application for UK visas, these were the places that you submit your application. However, it has been contracted out to companies such as Sopra Stereo. Most cases, they are the one running the application centers. And as we all know, these centers did close as at 27th of March. And people were hoping that now that the lockdown, some people say it has been eased. In fact, it hasn't been eased. They have made a little bit of tweak to the lockdown rules. And people think that they should be back to business. But we also have to know that this COVID-19, this pandemic, is not a joke. People are still dying every day. The government have set out, what do you call it, 5-point plan that the government will follow and make decisions as to whether to ease the lockdown further or not. But at the moment, the R rate, which is the reproduction rate, remains the same. And therefore, the government, I do not think, from my common sense, will not be able to do anything about it by easing it even further because it is too dangerous. In fact, some people have predicted that there's going to be a spike, there's going to be a second wave, whereby the death rate is probably going to go up again. So do not take it for a joke that it's not going to happen to you. If it can happen to that man on that side, it can happen to you. You know, many a times we say it will happen to them, but not us. Like Lucky Dube once said, until the man in a black long suit knock on your door, and you will know at that point that you are the next victim, or someone that you know is the next victim. Do not become a victim. Let's be clever and protect ourselves. Let's be clever and protect ourselves. Because once you are gone, man is just self-control. People will only remember you for a week. After a week is gone, you are history. You are history. That is a fact of life. So you need to take care of you, yourself. And as a result, the UK Border Agency, even their visa application centers, they've made it very, very clear. At the moment, they have not opened. They have not opened, and it remains closed. And therefore, if you are rushing your lawyer to put an application in on the basis that you could attend to submit your documentation, it's simply not going to work because they are closed. Even the Home Office themselves, they are working from home. Home Office themselves, they are working from home. So be patient. What does it take? It will make no sense to get visa or to get papers and die. And those people whose visa application has been successful, be patient. What is the rush? There is no need to rush. You know, so we ought to be very, very careful about that as well. Now, let's look at the court services. Maybe you may have an appeal pending. You are thinking that it's taking so long. What is the court saying? Even their courts, they have suspended face-to-face hearings until further notice. At the moment, you know, you will not be able to get face-to-face hearings. What they are doing is doing video links for immigration bail applications. So please, if you have a case pending in the court, they have suspended a lot of cases until further notice. In the family courts, if you have a family court application pending, of course, they have also suspended it until further notice. You know, from the beginning of April 30th, 2020, until further notice, judicial review applications also made to the upper tribunal do not require urgent or immediate consideration will be filled as follows. Once again, until the case is an emergency, trust me, the court will not even look at it. So people should bear with their legal advisors, as well as, you know, we all have to be patient, because at the end of the day, it's nobody's fault that we all find ourselves in this situation. This is an unprecedented situation that, you know, nobody knows when it's actually going to end. But because of that, the government is doing everything that they can to put in concessions to cater for people in such a situation. So if you have an application pending, you have an appeal pending, you know, unless it is an emergency application, the court will not entertain it. In some cases, the courts are able to do what? The courts are able to entertain certain form of applications. Now, let's look at an asylum intake. The Home Office, they have even decided to pause face-to-face substantial asylum interviews for now. According to the Asylum Operations Team, all interviews scheduled from 19th of March onwards. Those people are in the system. Home Office have cancelled it. Why? Because of COVID-19. They are not going to take any risk. You know, in some cases, the initial screening, as we know, if you are going to do an asylum, they will do initial screening, which they will give you a form PIQ to complete. And then after that, you go to the main substantial asylum interview. They have suspended order. So if you are in that situation, once again, this is for you. Also, reporting has also been suspended, and therefore people also have to bear in mind. If you if you have just come to the country and you want to claim an asylum, then of course Home Office have a dedicated telephone line which you can ring. That one you don't have to wait, because if you wait too long, they can use it against you that why did you not apply for asylum as soon as you come to the country. They have a telephone number which is 0300 123 4193. You can make an application, or you can call this number and let them know that you intend to apply for asylum. And one thing about asylum is that you need to apply as soon as it's possible, as soon as you enter the country. The longer you leave it, the more difficult that it becomes for you. What about asylum support? Asylum seekers and refugees will not be asked to leave government accommodation until the end of June 2020, the government has announced. So if you are living in an asylum accommodation and perhaps you are being threatened with eviction, you tell them that the government has made an announcement that you should not be made homeless, and you have protection until June 2020. And Junior Home Office Minister Chris Philp, he wrote to the British Red Cross on 27th of March and gave them that assurance. So if you look, if you want any further information, by all means, you can contact the minister in question. Also, in terms of travel documents, the Home Office team have also indicated that it's causing a lot of confusion and also delay. So if you are making an application or your application for travel document is outstanding, you need to be aware that there is a delay at the Home Office through no fault of their own, the COVID-19 has actually, stopped a lot of things from happening. So this is what we have in terms of immigration update. This is what we have for you for now. Home Office, once again, has also suspended removal, but still, some people are still being removed. But then again, this would depend on the country in question. In some countries, Home Office are still able to fly there with people in detention. Not long ago, that I posted about Polish people being deported from the UK on the basis of committing criminal offense. Next week, we'll be looking at the similarities between, what do we call it? The similarities between European nationals and their family members and the need to apply for settlement scheme visas and compare it to the Caribbeans, the Rainbow generation who came to this country in a similar situation. Some people lost their documents, and in the end, some people were asked to prove their right to live in the UK or their right to reside in the UK. All that I would say for now is that if you are watching us, you are European national or a family member of European national, or perhaps you have obtained a visa, which is European national visa, do the best that you can and apply, for the settlement scheme visa. Because if you don't, a time will come, believe in me, you'll be asked to leave the United Kingdom. Let's take this commercial break. And when we come back, once again, we will continue the program. So do not touch the dial. Do not go anywhere. We have one or two areas to cover as well in terms of immigration and nationality policy and Home Office update before we go to the admissibility of secret recording, communication, either of telephone or perhaps audio under Ghana law. As we know, so much has happened during the course of the week. Now you are speaking to someone in Ghana before you know you are recorded. People have put automatic recording on their audios or on their phones. So when you are talking to people, you have to be very, very careful what you say. People are very, 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 very strange because as soon as you say it, it's recorded. But one thing that people have to know is this: what we say in private, most of the time, people will not dare even to say it in public because of public outrage, because of the fact that the person may be chastised, because of the fact that the person will be criticized, because of the fact that what the person may be saying may be so notorious that no reasonable people will be expected to tolerate it. And sometimes, people may have a legitimate reasons as to why they want to keep their privacy by not discussing or putting certain things in public. And therefore, we will also be looking at that and whether it is legal or illegal. So let's take this 2-3 minutes break. When we come back, we will continue the program. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. We are back. Thank you very much for holding on. We are back. What are we going to do now? We're going to be looking at concessional policies, 7 years concessionary policy, and also we'll be looking at the funding once again that has been put in place by the UK government, just in case you have not applied. If you are a self-employed person, the process or the system is open up for you that you can go back and perhaps put in your claim if you are self-employed. And also, if you have a business running, by all means, you can also apply through the business retention scheme. The whole idea is for the government have said that they want you to be able to make a claim in order that you can meet your business expenses. So they have also introduced the business grant in which you contact your local authority. As businesses are not running, businesses are not making any money. And therefore, you still have to pay your rent, you have to pay your bills. And therefore, the business grant is basically tailored for businesses, for them to be able to survive in this pandemic crisis. Is for businesses not to force their workers to come to work and get the disease. So this has also been put in place for people to benefit from the scheme. Also, those people who are self-employed, the government says that if you are self-employed and you have been trading and also you have been paying your taxes and national insurance, then of course you can also put in a claim whereby you'll be able to get 80% of your tax rate. You file your tax returns, your turnover. They'll be looking at the last 3 years, 2016, 2017, 2018, to do the calculations. So if you have been paying the right taxes and you've been paying the right amount, you also get the right money back. If your business was not making money and therefore you're not paying that much tax, this is the point that you're also going to be affected. So the reality is the reality that is life. You reap what you sow. Whatever you put in is what you are going to get back. That is how it is. Also, in order for employers not to sack people from work, the government also have this job retention scheme whereby you will be given 80% of your wages. Some employers will give you 100%. Then again, it depends. It depends on who you are working for and where you are working. Some employers are very, very generous, and they have made that provisions for people like you and I, so that we are able to maybe work and maybe benefit from the system and allow people to stay home. So that is how it is in terms of job retention scheme. I will also say this. Some people want to submit their applications. If perhaps, you want to submit your application, you may be able to do that. Justice and law, we are still open. We are working remotely because of the COVID-19. We don't want to take any chance. We don't want to put you at risk. And I don't want to put myself at risk. For that reason, I am working remotely. So those people who are in genuine needs of our service, you ring us, we can work something out, and we'll be able to meet your needs. Even though the office officially is not opened, I will be able to work from home remotely. And in fact, we are still doing people's application and we are getting decisions. Someone will say that, but you said the home office is closed. How can you be making decisions? Because home office, many of them are also working from home. You see, and they have something called access to their servers and their internal systems. And as a result, they are able to do what? They are able to work and make decisions. That what I will say is those people who have been fortunate enough, those people whose application has been successful, and they have been told that the application has been successful. All that I say to you is this: please bear with us at this difficult time. Because if you ring me and you are pushing me and you are telling me that you need your papers, unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do. I will not be able to meet you. The reason being that I have to protect me. You may be able to want to take the risk, but I don't want to take that risk because of COVID-19. I have so many people who are my clients, who depend on me. So many people looking forward for me to be able to help them to get their papers. I don't want to take that risk and jeopardize their chances as well. So please, if you are fortunate enough and you have got your papers, bear with us so that at the right time, we can communicate with you, arrange with you so that you can come and collect your papers. It's very, very important for us that at this difficult time, you bear with us so that we can all do what? We can all go through this pandemic and come back alive, because it will make no sense if because of that, someone loses their lives. And you and I know that, basically, we'll be able to, exercise caution so that, the right thing is done at the right time. So please bear with us at this difficult time so that, we can all benefit from the system. It's very, very important. So please bear with us. It's not anything, but we also have to, take care of ourselves and also take care of you, and I think it's very important that we all do that. So we thank you for that. And we thank you for your understanding. If your child is 7 years living in the UK, the policy is still there, 7 years concessionary policy. The child can be the main applicant and submit an application on the basis of living in the UK for 7 years. It matters not whether the child was born in the UK. As long as that you can prove that the child has been in the UK for 7 years, the child is someone under the age of 18, then by all means, you can make such application. It's very, very important that we do that. That application is not a simple application, and you need the services of experienced lawyers to do that for you. In case you want to get in touch for us to do it, we can do it for you. Also, UK government have a policy, COVID-19 policy, and also in relation to no recourse to public funds. If you are in a situation that you are destitute, you are about to become destitute, i.e. you are facing homelessness, get in touch with justice and law solicitors. If the condition is right, we will do the best that we can and submit your applications for you. So please bear that in mind. Do not come to us if you are earning over £40,000. Do not come to us if you are earning over £18,000 and still you want to go and claim public money. Sometimes I don't understand. Someone sent me a text message. The person said, lawyer, I am earning £45,000. Am I eligible to apply for the lifting of no recourse to public funds? My response to the person was that I believe that you are joking, because this cannot be true. So please, the no recourse to public funds, or the lifting of no recourse to public funds, is for people who are in a genuine need of assistance. So please, those people are the real people who need help. Not because the policy is there that it applies to everyone. Britain is a welfare state that those people facing challenges, difficulties, those are the ones that the state has made policies to support them so that they can also get back on their feet and support themselves. So if you are earning over £18,000 or you have 16K savings sitting somewhere, then this policy will not apply to you. So we need to bear that in mind. Now, I think one of the main areas that we're going to talk about today is secret recording. Secret recording. This has become something that there is the need to talk about this. Why is there a need to talk about this? Last week I started talking about evidence because I want people to understand the law of evidence both in the UK and Ghana. Many times people say that I've got the evidence, I've got the evidence, I've got the evidence. But we also need to look at the admissibility of this evidence in the court of law. You know, I'm afraid to say this, but I'm going to say this. There has been an arrest of a famous pastor in Ghana. Everyone is talking about it. And people keep saying that, oh, there is a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence. All these audio recordings. There may be a lot of evidence by way of audio recordings. But the question that people have to bear in mind is this. Is this going to be admitted in the court of law? Court to bejatum and say court to jintum. Evidence will be any whole. But the question is, some of this evidence, court ebejatum and say court enyintum. And I'm so tempted at this part of this program, but some any key. Not yet I see the rules concerning evidence. Because yet I see not in an event to say, Sa papa say she had no court in Buenos Jana. People should not be surprised. Because when cases go to court, there are rules. And yes, all the evidence nearby there are rules concerning whether this evidence will be admitted or not. So we call it the admissibility of evidence. Secret recordings, in particular today. Apraku, my daughter, we all saw what happened to him. Someone just recorded him, and the person said, I'm going to post this on social media. You could see that he didn't like it. He was pleading with this person. This person was at his vulnerable stage. And to be honest, when I saw that audio, I felt so sorry for this man. The question that I keep asking myself is this: what is it wrong with us that when we see someone falling, we are happy and we are laughing? Why are we like that? Why are we like that? Obi da from man one city. SG city fatu aduane dia. Na se nipa nimpo hu nyansa e yusu city no eye investment. Na Nyankopon ma ne so pe. E nipa no pese nipa ne ye na sa nipa na sa problem of that person. Na obi ka sembi. O se bio obi wo ho a oboa se bedi nachi. Omwa wo se besane ho. Enti siame wa dom na so peja kakra bi o se masa. Me ka se bedi nachi, man ka se besane ho. Na afi PhD honhom na be hye nipa ne mu. Na afi opeso otwe wo san. Why are we like that? Yes, when you see sorry them. Now ye henyam ya dwene kwa. Ye dede. Unnecessary noise. Yenyam sumponi yo. Why are we like that? Say obi ehon kire no. Na ninu ye gina ho. No osere. Osinyame na etua nika. Obi ho kire no. What you do ni say busa wo se nipa ne ba ne say na o sa situation ni mu. Also lesson ben na so betimi sua free. Again, very, very important. You see this guy, what's his name? The Nation of Islam. The leader, the current leader, Farrakhan. Or Kansembi, despite all his controversies. Now, I believe we say, and I always say this. Say, Obi Kansebi, Mano de Sumina so, and Kwasia Semokra na with the TV. Ebia one line be woman, a yansa sem obefa. Farrakhan Kansembi. Or say, when you see a man falling, don't laugh, help him. Because unim echina, uswe a mistake, ye tie a some mistaken. Yes, any panel will record or the other social media. And you're very sad. But once again, Also, human beings, our appetite for such stories never end, never ceased. Because obi enya ya no so send ko. What the other? A nipa no is at a vulnerable stage where you nipa na chiri kwan abran ama ne mmoa no. Asema ye kan say nyame na atua ne ka. Nyame na atua ne ka, nyame na punish no. Aden enti na yete saa. Se obi hu kire na ɛho na ebi mu de. Otwea ono na hye ho no mo. Nyame na atwole. Nyame na atua ne ka. Why are we like that? Under Ghana law, emrane ma ye kwanya na. Esi betinya record obi dia beto social media now without the person's consent. Na ene eye kokoko na mebo ye tiefo nyina. Ene Ghana fo nyina. Se obi mponya ase na ne ho kire na owu no. Ise se nipa da seni ebekọ akoboa no. What do we do? Me afa your phone na ye video nipa no. 2 minutes crab na circulating everywhere. No discretion. This country and Ghana law in relation to recordings, they are very similar. And I will start from the common law. Once again, we talked about some of this last week. This week, there has been an incident in Ghana whereby people believe that there is a concrete evidence to convict a famous pastor in Ghana. But from lawyer's point of view, I am looking at this and I'm saying to you, some of these charges will not stick. Would you be surprised? Say ebane sana utiemia me mani nyoma because it's the rules of evidence. I just saw the evidence ne kwa ani agiatu. Some people may disagree with me, but that is fine. But the esa umune say case no eko court wa. Sa audios bebrebe na ya record no. Ebi wo honma it was recorded without permission. Eno nene yeba behwe whether say it will be admitted, whether it will stick in a court of law. And I'm pretty sure his lawyers will challenge the admissibility of some of this evidence. Some of the charges may stick, but all that I'm saying to you is some of the charges will not stick because of the rules concerning evidence. So say, afena also wo share ana wutie ya Mesrepi also share program no for all your loved ones. Landlord has joined us, Mr. Kennedy Abeni. So we're joining us now also so what share program no. And then you say you at least over 200 shares. You say more shares are over 200. You did so fantastically. You shared the program. We had over 200. And in fact, program no called the cheaper. And necessary, you better try. And I say, people macho. Say, what you are my also share program, no shares until you can share no more. I mean, Krofabe Gusupa, but we won't say, or more share no and also. And you know, you better say, what you are to them when I will share, also share program, no MI. Nana Ajeman, also so, what you are to a bompata hima, also so what join us. They say, you were Nana Ajeman, Nana. And what Ajeman ama nana. We need a joining us. Sometimes they confuse me. Thank you for joining us. What joining us now also watch a program no amaye. Now so it's me a benefited from the program. So we thank you very much for sharing. Once again, I will start by explaining this, and then I will come to Apraku, my daughter, the situation and a recording. Any potential damages or legal action that the family can take against the person. I didn't make us say a lesson for you and I. We all have to learn from this. Said the you got to say obi a vulnerable stage. Because as we see, some people are trying to link the video to his death. And nobody knows. We all have to wait until the autopsy is out. Na sebio obi ho kire na ma yemfa nye sere ma yemfa nkogina baabi enye dede too much because se ato obi a also so ebitimi ato. Georgina Bonsu also thank you very much and good afternoon to you wherever you are watching us from. Thank you for joining. I could see that you are all sharing the programs. If you have tuned in, by all means share the programs, share it for us. Mr. Victor, also thank you for joining us. Good afternoon to you wherever you are. As soon as you join, please do share the program. I haven't managed to share the program myself, so I will also do the best that I can and share the program to all the groups that I am in. It's very difficult sometimes when you are doing a program live and you are also operating the computer, so it makes it difficult for me to share as well. But those people who have tuned in, please do all the best that you can to share for us so that other people can also benefit from today's program. We've covered a lot and we will keep going so that a lot of people will benefit from the program as well. Admissibility of evidence and secret recordings. Basically the principle is this, as I started last week. We can go back or we can trace it back to 1861. There is a case called Regina against Leatham. And this is a case that the court in the UK made it very clear that as long as evidence is evidence and is relevant, it matters not. As long as you get the evidence and it's relevant to the issue to prove or to disprove an issue, then that's what you need. It's more than enough. It can be used in court. You see, however, things have changed. Things have changed. As long as you get the evidence and it's relevant, you can use it in court. And last week I gave an example that some evidence may be obtained by using illegal means. In such cases, then of course those evidence will not be tolerated in court. And therefore, we need to bear in mind that even under Ghana law, you may be able to get evidence, but if the evidence was obtained without the other person's knowledge, especially audio recording, video recording, if you are recording someone and the person tells you, do not record me, if you are recording someone, the person is not aware that you are recording the person. Under Ghana Constitution, it makes it very clear that the individual's rights must also be protected. And this is enshrined in the 1992 Constitution under Article 18.2. And it provides as follows: no person shall be subjected to interference with privacy of his home, property, correspondence, communication, except in accordance with the law. Except in accordance with the law. So that means if you are recording someone and the law has not given you the power to record that person, then of course you cannot interfere with individuals' rights. If you are recording someone and you are going to publish it in the social media, we need to be very, very careful. You are breaching the person's private life. You may be breaching the person's family life. And the individual may have a recourse, civil recourse, against you, the person, publishing that information in a social media. I don't want to go too much into details about the intricacies of this policy or this law. Under Ghana Constitution, Article 18.2, individuals' rights must not be interfered with, especially their private life, their property, and so on and so forth, communication. So if you are going to record someone, I think it's very important that you tell the person from the outset that I am going to record you during this conversation, or I am going to I'm going to film you during this conversation. And the purpose is to put on social media, but you don't do it discreetly. And then later on, just publish it without the person's consent. Once you do that, you may be breaking the law, unless you can justify it in law. So example, look at Apraku, my daughter's situation. He was recorded And when he was being recorded, he was protesting that, please stop, I don't like this, I don't like that. And the person said, yeah, I'm going to record you. Look at what God has done to you. I'm going to make everyone see the state that you find yourself. And hold and behold, it was published. People have, appetite to see what is happening, especially to celebrities. The question, therefore, is, as this man is a celebrity and is in the public eye, can it be justified in law on the basis that this man has already put himself out there as a public figure, and therefore that person who did the videoing has not broken any law? It's going to be an interesting case in an event that the family takes the case to court, which they have threatened to do. But for me, all that I would say to you is this: if you are watching me, before you put anything on social media, especially concerning other people, you ought to be very, very careful. You ought to be very, very, very careful, especially if you don't have permission of those people. Because social media is out there, which can be a force for good. But within our own community, the way we are using the social media, sometimes you just sit there and you wonder what goes through people's head. Certain information that is put out there, you wonder what is wrong with people. Instead of using it to educate people, people are using it, in various means which are questionable. People use it as a form of platform to abuse people. People use it as a form of platform, basically, to do unnecessary things. Then again, who am I to say what is necessary and what is not necessary? Anything that is being put out there, not the purpose is to educate people and for advancement of humanity, then of course it's questionable. So if you are putting something out there, for example, what the lady said to Apraku, my daughter, I will use that as an example. She said, I'm going to put this on social media for people to see what God has done to you. You are so drunk. The question that I am asking myself is this: if that man was a brother, a family member, or maybe a relative to the lady in question, I will bet my bottom dollar, unless the person is mad, the person is suffering from mental health issues, the probability is very slim that the person would have posted it. The person has made a mistake. We need to acknowledge that. I am not attacking the person, because sometimes ignorance forces people to do silly things. Unfortunately, she published it, and then it went wild everywhere. The question that I'm asking myself, if the person was a relative, if the person was your relative, would you be happy about that? You can be only happy if the person is your relative, if perhaps you have mental health issues, arguably. So it is very, very important that we use the social media as a force for good. And the way social media is being used of late, in fact, in some cases, it's very, very difficult to swallow. You go on Facebook, people just come there and sit there for 1 hour. All that they do is to insult someone. Insulting, and insulting. And the funny thing is, you will see people sharing it. You will see people encouraging it. Please, when we see someone abusing social media like that, I think we should not even watch it. Straight away, come out of it. When they realize that no one is watching the nonsense, the foolishness will stop. But if we stay there and we are also watching it, we are giving them indirect approval that the insult and the abuse, we are loving it, we are enjoying it, and therefore it must continue. Let's use the social media as a force for good. Because at the end of the day, for me, it's a medium in which if we are able to use it wisely, share informations that will help people positively, then of course, we will be able to make a lot of progress in our lives. We'll be able to make changes in our lives. You know, one man said to me one time, which is something that I will never forget. What he said was this: in life, as you make progress, as you progresses, of course, there are people around you. Those people may not be happy about your progress. It's a fact of life. Some people will be happy about your progress. Those people who are happy about your progress, don't forget them. But those people who are not happy about your progress, leave them behind. Because it's two things. Either you move with people who want to see you progress, and leave those people who don't want to leave, leave those people who don't want to see you progress behind, so that those who want you to progress can also progress with you and you keep going up. However, if you intend to move with those people who don't want to progress and they don't want you to progress, all that they will do is to bring you down. They will pull you down, and you'll not be able to fulfill you'll not be able to fulfill where you need to go to. However, if you leave those people behind, you'll be able to make a lot of headways. And those people who want to go with you, carry them with care, show compassion, help them as well, so that as you are progresses, they will also progress. So if they are around you and you are progressing and they are also progressing, there will not be any jealousy. But jealousy kicks in when you want to be the boss and everyone wants to be under. You see, so whilst you are up there and they are down there and you are always looking down upon them, what do you think is going to happen? It's greed, jealousy. It creates jealousy, and people will be able to do what? Start doing things either to bring you down or to do whatever they want to do, so that you be like them. But all that I say is that don't be afraid to leave people behind. Life is like a train journey. Those people who are not prepared to jump on board, they will leave behind. So if the Zion train is coming your way and someone don't want to jump on board, leave the person behind and do not feel any bad about it. Because it's either you stay down with the person or you will leave the person behind in order to make progression in your life. Look at our lives. We started day nursery. We had friends. When you are a child, you think that they will be your friends forever. You start class 1, class 2. As you go along, people start going about their business. People start disappearing. You make friends, friends disappear. Sometimes you make friends, they become friends for life. But today, if you are watching, ask yourself, how many people that you started school with, that you are still in contact with? From day nursery, from primary school, to secondary school, to university, even people that you work with. It's a fact of life. We leave people behind. So all that I say to you is this. If someone is going to be an impediment to your progress, leave the person behind. Do not be afraid. Because at the end of the day, you and your God can control your destiny. Along the line, yes, you will get help from people. But man is just self-control. Man is just self-control. Man has got limitations, but God has got no limitations. The only person that can be guaranteed, or the only spirit, the only man that can be guaranteed to, follow you throughout your life is your God. So God first, that is what I say. If people want to help you to progress in life, of course, let them be around you, accept them. But if people want to bring you down, let them be. Move on. Move with people that want to see you progress. So it's for this reason that for me, when I saw the video of Apraku, my daughter, to be honest with you, something went through my mind. That God, how is that man going to cope? Taking into account where he reached, where he was, and where he is now. How is he going to cope? In fact, I feared for him. And I was not too surprised when I heard that he has passed on. So when you see a man fall, don't laugh, don't jubilate. When you see a man fall, pray for the man. Because in life, we never know. What is good for the geese is good for the gander. We never know what can also happen to you and I. And for me, I think it's a lesson that must be learned. And the lady that took the video, I don't know what the family is going to do. Now, it is my hope and my prayers that maybe they take compassion on this woman, because technically they can go for her. They can go for her big time for unauthorized publication of that video. So if you are watching me, and perhaps you have done it, you intend to do it, you are going to do it just to cause disgrace to someone, then watch out. Because there are laws out there that offer protection to individuals' privacy. In the UK, under Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights. Let's look at this country as an example. There was this man, the fake sheikh. He will set people up and record people, and they will publish it in the newspapers Sunday morning. He was making a name for himself. He ended up in prison. You see, he ended up in prison. So we really need to be very, very careful, especially when we have bad intentions of recording people. The intention is to disgrace them. Unless the law gives you the right to do that. Unless what you've done is in the public interest. What is in the public interest is also a question mark. So we all have to learn a lesson from this. And when someone is down, all that I say to you is don't laugh. When someone is down, don't laugh, learn. If you can help the person, help the person. Today is someone else. Tomorrow, it could be you. That's all that I got to say for today's program. I will activate the telephone lines. If you have any question, one of the things that I must also say is that people always call after the show and they keep telling stories that, oh, I tried to call the program, I was unable to get through. It is never true. You know, many a times, all those people who call us, we see the numbers. And when people say that, we go back and check. And I would say that 9.5 out of 10, they just make stories up. And therefore, if anyone tried that today, it's not going to work, because after this program, I am going to do applications for people, and I will not be able to do what? I will not be able to answer questions that people may have after the show. So all that I will say to you is do the best that you can. Do the best that you can. Do the best that you can, and call in now whilst we are doing the show, so that if anyone has got a question, the person will be able to call in. The number that we are using today, the number is 07538 969 589. People have also commented that they've tried to send their questions by what do you call it, by texting it through the comment section, and the allegation is that I never read their question. So today I have put my spectacles on. My eye is an eagle eye today. So if you want to ask any question, you don't want to call in, or perhaps you don't want to talk, you don't want someone to hear your voice, and you want to ask a question, I am watching the comment section. This is the time to send your question, because after the program, unfortunately, I will not be able to do what? I will not be able to answer any question. So please, if you are watching us, then by all means, do the best that you can, and do what? Do the best that you can, and share the program, and also come with your question. So we are still waiting. Someone said that the network, I'm still watching you, I can see you. So the network is working from here. So it might be your network. So I will say that do the best that you can. If you have a question to ask, you can call this number. The number is 07953 969 589. You can call us. All areas of immigration and nationality law, you'll be able to answer the question for you. Also, if you want to text your question, you'll be able to do so. I am waiting for, this is a question time. This is the time that perhaps you need to let your questions fly, and we will then be able to answer them for you. Once the show is over, if you call and you want to ask a question, it will be too late. We will not be able to answer that question. So please, if you want to answer a question, this is the time that you have to call in and answer the question. Thank you very much for your encouragement, respect. Thank you very much for that. Once again, if you are watching us, I will also ask that you share the program with all your loved ones. Mr. Bernard Fosu, thank you very much for joining us. Grace Quartin, also thank you for joining us. Mr. Richard Amijo, also thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. All those watching us live, if you have any question, this is a time for you to bring your question. We'll be happy to answer the questions for you. Pastor Archie, good morning to you, or good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Kalusha Mohammed, also thank you for joining us. Okay, we have a text message in. You can also send a text to this number if you have a question that you don't want someone to hear your voice. We do respect that, your privacy. Please, my question is about free visa extension for NHS staff. Can spouse visa holders in NHS apply? Can carers or healthcare assistants in NHS apply? If employers are refusing to extend visa for a qualifying person, what can be done? That's a very, very deep question. Thank you very much. I believe that is a question that perhaps will also help a lot of people. Someone may be watching, the person may have issues. So by all means, we are also going to look at that. Okay, let's take the telephone call first and see. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you. Good morning to you. Nampacho. Alex Overhampton, thank you very much for joining us and thank you very much for sharing the program. Now, and I no pay, Mr. Alice. I did a bit my yama.
Question can change my ban of last week you could be free about me now. But then the infant young to name of focus on I'm working on the via for Cacaja. Charles of them, so we must have question about my get it through.
Right.
Another question is that if I told you to Master de J. After tonight, and if I not come you. Now, so recently, I was changing law, no? They say, if I also rent a room in a house, into a shared place, you definitely lose your council tax and found to near muscle. And also, on punch with your council tax at the after show, and send it in utility bills that I didn't mean inclusive. Which is not make terms, I say, law not a said your canon. I was your barnos, and this woman here, the pay slip will be our year. And I know, Banasa. If I knew and talk at which idea of buying out the pieces to the man. If you need to, you say, be all canon, for them, because they be a it's a sound like who actually would that. But in a papa, and I'm sure maybe a qualified person.
Yeah.
Maybe a million chance and I'm going to him now. Yeah. And the second question is about evidence in the law court. MC has said yet, and money a Juma. Say, be a video will be without the consent, will be to me, I'll take you on. And then I will video me and I say, but that you couldn't want it yet. MC recently, even a whole security minister, take our night and all, near the number 2 media. But someone take any action. The reason being that all the problem was different because they interpret the law in their own way.
Okay, thank you very much for that. You see, sometimes in life, in order for something to change, there have to be a revolution, you see. And the revolution is a Ghana for, unfortunately, some of us, the hypocrisy in the doorson. So minister you could take actions against the individual person. Yes, Jamanenka. Adena wo yesa. Near the kotu penini bienim. Near baby cool down. Shenansea Kennedy Japan Giga ya or Shasi. Edian and Crofanka attack a band so. Only said when the BBD, a workout so will school betting a tria. And Nutina, why successful? And can yes, sir, and can shut it down. And within our community to so no hypocrisy in the doorson. Ye nimpase ade nipa ne ye no enye. And so you many pan blind support. Obu because way ye minua. Into a bob ya sun na me support no you right. Also nim say de wonu ye no enye. Enti ye man ne kure no enna adi. E wo ya sitting. That is where our problem is. Ye mpa ne kure. Ye nka ne kure. Say ye ka say obi eye madamfo a. Madamfo ya de onim say enye. Ma madamfo ni hu say de wo ye no eye wrong. Now we're changing from the bad ways. But se nipa ne ye no enye na wo support no no. Echi no obejai. Obe repeat the same thing because onim say obenya obe support. And about time we we have to face reality. Ghana, the law is there. I'm telling you. But emre pino yemfa nya adwuma because kokwa start you kra no. Oh, we scan am kwako to agu. Obi timi ka say ma jimi nam dim sika koma lawyer di. Said you na lawyer and we jimi so be call law school kwako suan law. E dia ba be boa wo bi. Oh, enti your mindset be on about time we start changing as people. Said ya emrabe ye adwuma. So because picture the better way. Said you be our finance will be near so be papa. So obi no be ka say yamfa to social media. No, regardless, unless any pan na boom. So but you obi there. Aya ye feel say okay. So what is wrong and it must be condemned. Said yeah, next time no obi enkoye saade ni bi. So it's very important. As my making obi can say ya de beto say am aye hu de ekoso. Yes, ne kre am aye hu de ekoso. But there is a fine line between say odi ba beto ababe education and aso de ba be go obi anim ase. Because intention de by ni say o se me de beto ama mansa nyina hu se de wasi aye nyame na atwa woka obi da form no ne etietia ne so I didn't before I said you unfortunately. I'm generalizing it here, I beg. But unfortunately, within our community, I will hold too much. Tembiano, you know, be a while. You perceive your costro, will be that form. Not Tembiano, or be a cotocotono. I didn't know what's our problem.
My first question is who to me, well,
I'm saying, now the only say, a bit dependent, any panel said you see application or any said you see narrating a story. Because say, Ujina Basu empo agent crater. Na say a drew extension. Na papa no uni ni hobby. Na or basically on the support umpa. Who are quite the first way, you know. The honey macrano, you will not need it. Simple, simply or tableau. It's as simple as that. And the question is on getting in touch. Now, you didn't before point papa so I'm an who the light. Yes, yeah, that was a P. Pacho Mamo Freya, Yentimi Amfano, Musumbitimia phrases here. You were one line pet I did you mano. Into your best row. I'm on for P. Beguso pa Yentimi Amfa. Now, phones, I'm still working it out because if you are with me a year conference, I would me to be joining. I'm working it out. Hopefully next week, you know, I should be able to do that. And you know, Mama friend, I yet me amfano, Pamacho with me as a free. Now, you go to your phone call, see, not just say, Meko, your friend is saying, Meko text message a buy, the funny number end of 168 of any diama, fine, fair enough. Okay, we'll be a friend today, young fano. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon. Pacho, we didn't say Nakase free.
Good afternoon, lawyer David Pacho,
Peter Bedu, Mr. Scotland.
Yeah.
Okay, any more to say? Okay, any fire away?
Yeah, maybe I mean 15 years from Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe 15 years. Opa Ghana by 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Now our Dutch passport doesn't can be changing a British passport at the manual. The same one said is come which has almost 1,000 something, and I say qualify for a normal price, which is 80 pounds or second.
Okay. Okay, two things, Anna, would they mix it up or no? Ofi Netherlands awabano. Our Peter Netherlands passport.
Yeah.
Make us say.
No, she Ghana no buy.
Until kita Ghana passport.
Or a Holland passport.
And therefore your Hollandini no.
Yeah.
And to free Holland, and I saw your Hollandinia also a work room one or your European national.
Yeah.
I don't know about 2.5 years in boy.
Ofi Ghana been 2.5 years, but see 15 years.
Oh no, I didn't fear 2.5 years.
Yes.
And I say what 15 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Why apply for settlement scheme Libya and I say permanent residency amano?
Yeah, because now my been sent me book man straight away.
Okay. I will suggest because law not actually about 2-3 years ago. I was say we permanent residency scheme Libya mano. Now we via now why naturalization. Say we do over 18 me boy.
I think when you're 15.
I think when you're 15. Now why registration? Registration, you know, it costs £1,012.
Oh, okay.
And to also apply for e-manifest permanent scheme ni bimano.
Oh, okay.
And to uye no and send out one naturalizing no. There was a time now to me prove say what now for 5 years to me apply for naturalization straight away. But law not change it since 2018. And she say we jump up naturalization e be refuse na yasa juicy kedi. Wow. It naturalize it first. Now next one no will be applied for what do you call it? Naturalize registration. Why it is an SOA.
Oh, okay. And the other 3 boys on your way, 2 boys, 1 girl, and me one more straight. And also almost home kita a Dutch passport. So I say very simple as
yeah, who more You are more straight, you know, a bit dependent time I would in your indefinite anytime I do woo. And Rani say,
Holland passport.
Who apply for permanent residency and I say settlement scheme maybe.
Yeah, my
Unyane da ben.
Me Dutch book on answering.
Indefinite now apply no Chrome one permanent residency no and answer settlement scheme.
On the last year, new law now, but so be
and I in that case, you know, unfortunate for you, you have to naturalize them as well. Because when you're indefinite and I say settlement scheme, that's a automatic British. Name say and send a later babenya indefinite na also will naturalize you.
Okay.
Sana akwakoye. Say who BMD akrani British because you get indefinite.
I say beginning first need to have blue card even on a straight encounter.
Once a blue card and you two types. You were 5 years back is valid for 5 years. Enti bakuna valid for 5 years no. And when you're indefinite. After 5 years no, you then apply for indefinite, you see. So a bit depend the time I do woman, didn't feel saying.
Back 2 years, about 15, back 2 years, not back 8 years.
Okay, 2 years, 15 years, no, by 15 years in here. And what I would suggest to you, you have to do this fast. You need to apply under the old scheme, no. Now what permanent residency. Oji permanent residency na ombekshia konechi.
Okay.
Ama omo adimu say unya indefinite no when you were living here for 5 years. And to by 15 years ago, that means they will confirm say your indefinite is deemed to have been granted in 2010. And say unya sa letter na umana omedi 8 any two no you apply for British passport for them straight away so that you save money.
Oh, okay.
Why? Until unyam webia or they come and see the law doctor. You ever saw to
okay.
Why? Yeah, that was CP. Yeah, chair Scotland the phone na. Yeah, that was CP. Bye. Patrona enko frame one fry yentimi amfa nyina no. Oso ubetimi afresi si ana oso waje wode we I'm friend say ye tutu ye na nyina na che say ye kwa no. Ye titi abeti so na ne cha no. Tinton, yenum saying as near for adwene. Yes, eti paye bekruma, aboa kotodie, enye nasem, sanetie. Entino say, oh, problem be an episode of friend and so ojo share. Any phrases here, among for us and this and the text messages. Mame entrana me read the text message, you know. Na yentimi enye die. Yenu so afre. Esa me friend back, let me say on so a question. Paco shipping, say. Opeso ship odema ko baby and say Paco shipping na on so I was say we keep it in touch. Hey Mr. Paco shipping, that is say who are live on Facebook. Now before that, you know, Papa is so about me and recognize it now. Now justice and Lord here, they be am kasa same way. Me pacho just want to see Mr. Kwame Amankwa, former chief executive of Fire Radio Focus. Papa on the mam opportunity. To start this radio program. And Timobo Empire announcement Bompire Manepa or a very good opportunity. And then Yamiadum, Ama Encrophobia Bray at Minya or Monkrata. And you also, I want to take this opportunity. Namadana Sepa, me say, or the better life or shay. And see, Midawasipi, Loyadaku, Memfa Nasi, da. Among focus Ladaku, Yamisha, not just say, if you will be so. Ana meso bedru and pimpim so saying and you know so bad now we have to acknowledge them and thank them for their help. Sasuna Paco shipping or no so by all means or no so ayubiama pa for all his support and his prayers. And then on so abba to FD so person shippo nema kwa Ghana dia and one Paco shipping on so abba intinted or the airbrain and the Paco shipping or live on Facebook. I did our my Asemo, I'm on for frepa, Intina, I difficult. Paco chef and Sasta TV. Nyami Adom.
Safe near me now also like and I area also. You can be any. the customers the thing we are catching my friend
and when you're based in Pacho, when you're based in a number need to Jawai.
Shipping, and I'm 0796 0799 723 0799 726. And it says, yeah, you go to your Juma until we come for the bigger. Yeah, you know what I want never some.
Okay, fantastic. My number mame NCC B. Actually, before so record mame and your number ni B. 0799 607 9723. Is that correct?
0796.
Oh, 0796.
0796. 0799.
Let me say, break it. And you know, why would do the same number? Number the atuja. Why? Yeah, that was if Paco shipping. I'm not saying in Cano. Me jinana make a sanama yes son sana Paco shipping on so I dear pa. You might ye na best support over the years. And his upper social shipping Yamako Ghana. Not just say, what get in touch with Paco shipping. Now on so Eddie Bibia at the Kwamu. Kama amamu na pese bibia idea akoso kama because over the years they've been very, very supportive to Fire Life Radio, to Justice and all everything that we do. You know, they've been very, very supportive. Nyoma kene coming for program yi emremo enti yeda omase so wo sha me do number ato apaso enti no so ubetimi afre wo so pese ship bibia ko Ghana door to door media me ship bibia ko Ghana e Paco shipping o ma na me recommend. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good. Nyankopon Abdom, ye ho ye pa na mpacho na ekase.
Acho mame me Boatman ekase, that's free Dawson.
Mame Boatman Dawson. Na obi a ho ye de.
Nyame ada wo na Paco ka chere se ye twa ma lockdown na put down na ye spake ye no wanyina ku fi.
Eno ano no ya bre
pa. Na me chia we na no ya e me te pa se wa ka no ma. And go forward to social media. Which I said, it me, pitch me how one.
Oh, yes.
And some power, the abray, kind of what's a view, and some power, the abray, near to 1 year teachers answer me. I say, I'm from why,
Debbie.
And why will be a soon to mess, I said, you who saw no man, I'm from Rewa or Brabuma. What do you lawyer programs now? Why you did that? Now, may assure that will be on WhatsApp or so. Which means now what you not just a reference, a very good education.
Yes,
and all that mechanical. Last week, say it was very powerful. The past 3 weeks now, I started very good.
Yes,
to make Facebook. Last week, the end of it, say you
yeah,
I tell them who says, oh, my WhatsApp, so any tea. So, and to the young son of money, I said, I will go on to be at the one. I mean, some of your Bible, I see a little time grass and no man. Tell you your teeth, which I am. Oh, Papa, put tears as a will buy tears as me. Because education be a intimate ceremony and queering. Would you be away 2 years, 1 year, crown put here, and answer this week, maybe to meet you in better for that. Because sometimes what you are the end 1 year, what you back, I wouldn't. Yes, I would say to you, I'm watching you. And you know, I can't make a lawyer. I'm sure I'll buy it. I must be at the same with the other way.
Yes, yeah, that was a for your continued support. Nyankopon ensure me na. One more friend also bet me afre se funko bia maya me read the message no. You know the message in the buy no. Na metimi idea answer amano. And you know you go so etia. You know question obusaye. Or say, can spouse visa holder in NHS apply? Can carers or healthcare assistants in NHS apply? If employer is refusing to extend visa for a qualifying person, what can be done? Okay. Jamaican say, you see NHS workers and their family members. And therefore, if you are a spouse of an NHS worker, then by definition, you can apply. So that is the answer to the first question. The second says carers and healthcare assistants in the NHS, can they apply? Only this week, they were added to the list. And the answer is yes, they can apply. So that is the second question. That's the answer to the second question. The third question, that is a bit tricky one, because questioner Obusan is saying, if the employer, you see, if the employer is refusing to renew your visa, what can you do? It be dependent the reason cry employer no or de ma dentia ompese obe yamam. I find it a bit odd because most employers are actually encouraging people to apply. And in this particular case, it will be very difficult for me to comment. However, if you want to come and see us, if you are facing challenge with your employer, then of course come and see us. We will get involved because it is not for the employer to make that decision. SME apply now because it's a government policy that if you qualify, they must do it. It's their job. The only thing that I could think of is that maybe the employer has got something to hide. Because if you are an employer and you have nothing to hide, why deny someone such an opportunity? And by all means, there is more to it than what you have just sent. So I will encourage you, brother, perhaps you can send me more information, or perhaps you can call me on Monday at 12:30. If you are still watching us, I have made an appointment for you Monday at 12:30. Call me, and then I can then take more information. And if I need to intervene, then by all means, we can then intervene and help you out. It's very, very important. Because what you are saying, it could happen. Because some employers, I'm not saying your employer is, but you get into a situation whereby maybe some employers don't pay tax, they don't pay national insurance, and therefore they don't want to go for it. And therefore, it can create problems for them. But if they are genuine employers and they are doing things the right way, then of course, I don't see why they will not do it for you. We've got someone on the phone, 548. Hello. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good afternoon.
Nam pacho hane kase bodi ni hu, me de me hu mo mbete bia no bi tie no hu.
You read the camera by me yama na I said now
I can be pa.
You didn't kind mama boat because I feel ready.
It's here for so actual.
Facebook name, me who's a ready for joining pa.
Aye.
And yet if why you ready is mammy, but mammy, me say mammy, what man can you wow? A word chilling the yaw Manchester on the idea. You be out with ya. You were feeding the caca because the bar air check. That's what maternity leave about the temple.
Mammy can be.
They didn't call lawyer me, Yamisha, or Pani with my power yet. Or start in the BMT any idea. It's in a Basoboni idea, man for the face. In a crown out making kind. Any idea, almost videos. No, see a down in said, or more videos. And you may be saying, you so be sending big grown up and ya, and you encouraging. I know what it is. Simple. Share cry and moving soon. Because negative things in the yard also. Lawyer can't make employers and send me be me. You may person make how many penny beans to tears and says, I wouldn't start to go to our trade. You could really dance. Because of you a one more, and no more a crown on or a hot. And so still no park. And you may be at the idea my back of us and my it's would so would be baby now and how when because me penny be our more media more some more too as you cry oh how 150 new babies are I into no so no your back. They trust me, yeah, papa video, yeah, babons, yeah, obedient, no, yeah. A man here, the new ma of you, said you, and you've been in the man, the bassa. Yeah, now it can be said,
say nipa o ma video nipa abonti ade. They say the lawyers are the agents and more mean see betting me as I know they are. Edit say, and no be train the phone no video the open. Will be train the phone no video the open. You say no. I may be as I want to say what I'm baby I no you be hey. Who did you send me about the pay oh. Which is a check around me because one shot who crowd up baby come do so me pepper dinner me fanye who come now no and I will be a cat oh it's a answer now by you one on the again you my in the hands me no the cracker because I can pan no the other two feet and lawyer more in DC. And I'm himself the old gentleman, Tinya, they are now crowded. I collect a bit of crown out of one up. HSS, I dear no, with the people who said, and ya dear, it's you or what, no one will play you. And now what crap, I should you may be our own conquer involved, because a nano, be a good kind of phone, the all pet, a child is a yadi boni awaye e good in masi enya de papa e na nipa ni kutwa e di aba social media me abo bi aba so ye time e good in masi no e no e na nipa ne nam e hwehwe akotwa e di aba ame akosese enti se onfu wo ha no wa hwe onfu yi se de be ya onfu koye ni o ma bi a enye emfa ma bonti e ma bibi e enkoku ani mu ase Papa say I represent Ubia what to me acquire Ubia what done a good church I only number for pump the women and a number for pump the near. And so lean there, you know, and never put two nacra now tell you what I said number food trap. I represent. And yen I am sure we say, and Abrabona Sassiani, the you. Every year. Every year, and Tinina, here, car was say, young say a black book, and ya sitting a muye, that and your body be my black book, and after ya get Yama, and Papa, and uncle, your push ya, and you must say any money, Yasifo, because a pass a cow Busiano generation, are we a no baby, any. Nti adofo no ye ka se ya ye ka ade atue nyina ye ho ye hwe ewu ye won no me no mo so mo video no ma time and the social media ya ye ton ye si entoma e wa abonti e ya na agba da ase di petu ye de sebi ensem fu kwa ye di enso na sa na tie sa da bia me ka che nkofo se tu ko twa obi e se obi ye bi pa ye ball a e ba a wo di apetu social media. So was who to Magusia had happened, sir. So when the petty castle now, Coco Castle or more, and I said, on the eye video never trouble, I know Betty. But me, I don't know that me as a video may make said that you crab it because I am a rebel. So, the young woman didn't say, best send your papa would say, best send your ma, and ya, the many public way. I am Bassa, I owe you to my ear, we are moving, say, in the air, and something. I'm doing the same kind of positive. Fireman, oh, you know, so actually, yeah, that was it. Aye, and you, may I do mention you or Betty and I, you know, we will come down. Definitely, you know, yeah, but down. Yes, yeah, that was it for your contribution. Fantastic. Yes, let me say, Mama Botina, Ekasa, you know, you don't CP for her contribution. Now, I samba kwambesa meka I can see so, and they say, I am not emrepi, you know, if he said nothing will change. The only time something will change, and they say, just say enipa IBB afa home. Minim case be a kromua. Obi ko catch obi say we ye one funny one channel or the nickel court. Enipa ne na so. Enipa de nickel court and making sure say when ya we friend is saying a court order
for compensation. Now independent intia or not just a bankrupt, not was any professional life. Later, anako foko pa na cho anema ni jaye. Enti no sometimes no ensem hunu bi wo hona se nkofo dia. E wo se ma ne kre e dedi. Ne ka se masa de wo ye no eye ensem hunu. Enye sa e help be bit media brain no. One hwe in the future no there is a heavy price to pay. Enti e very very important. I say dear Essie, yes, the family have a remedy. If they want to take them on, they will take her on. A beer. Dear ometim dia ye no enye asempa kra enti no ye be strepi say video recording audio recording obi ho kire no straight away ni etwa ni de kwa akoma obi ene ensensem pi no yenye very very careful because emwa e de ho kire ne bro enkrofo mo na mo fresh so usu betinya frɛ number no is still live the number no ana a good screen so no 07938 now okay, let me share number the crowd. Okay, let me just check the number again. It's 07538, yes, 07538 969 589. Also ubetimi idea afre question. Okay, yes, you can call. Also ubetimi afre Amadumase. Can I call now? Yes, ubetimi afre. Me wa number intino mismetimi idea afre. Wow, person will free be an answer of free winner biano. Miss meeting afro, and your big deal. Say minimum number on quantia mefrel. Say minimum number so also so betting idea. Also betting idea afre. Be a question I'll be busano. Now also so what the air boy will be. Tina so be a sem as will be dear will be quite anon. And tina by all means also betting afre. Say them penny for kind, you know. I say Koku we epinsu pa Zudiane epoano a inye ye. Entino and send me ha ubebusano na ekobwa uni. Okay. Entino Amadoma usubiti afrebi me try some afro but me say phone no I engage and answer for whatever reason. Let me say I'm calling the old number. Yeah, Mr. Osafo Mensa so hanamo. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, Mr. Osafo Mensa. Na ene eti say.
Boko na mo so.
Nyankopon adom ene mo mpaibo. Ye temu se telia no.
That's good. But your question here, Pacho, I say about 2 weeks ago, and Ghana ni papebia or T croiding, and say corona be ekunu. Nana before anka over now why plan say or British passport. But now why now being say offer in my menu I work Ghana under 18 years. Our person go far mobile. Na say asemi abetu onwe. Na obano see me Mr. say see papa no free money. Is it possible say still obetu me afa kwala no aba kromu ha na any question no my media or 2.5 ni bi 2.5 ni bi na amoma no nti obetu me obetu me afa papa no so aba say so British citizens na ni me question.
Okay, papa no adwuma be no e.
Papa na I can't be specific.
Okay, so adwuma no ye no say if it is one of the jobs na me kan ho seminar, especially care workers, NHS, nesanema na eno de maame no obe qualify for indefinite. Sana emra no ma ye ni say. Now ne masoso ebe qualify, but OSHA policy na it has been designed for people omone omomano etikromua rather than someone who is outside. They haven't commented on it. So it will be interesting to see what the Home Office will say about this. And what I was saying is that in the course of the week, me patrol time, meeting us send an email to the Home Office and make inquiries as to what the Secretary of State position will be. In fact, talking about this, last 2 weeks, I'm saying woman be so friendly, so say fear. Ghana nurse or no so similar thing happen. Them say ba any kromwa. And you know, we cry na twema dwena baso. And ye behwe so no so na e be benefit in bana. And whether there is a limit as to age SM crani din say no metimi aba na say nota. this is something that yen na eboy because we say na dwene nko so but question we be say ebie kwan bi obi so betimi a benefit enti esra mo say wuti na bibi kire wadwene so wo question bi a frɛ ne busa because me so na me sua me I don't know everything no but I'm also learning from you. So on Papa Frey, be a very, very good way for me to inquire. So me making inquiries, ne sibit me boy in Yanubia. So question we I will be busy, ne be a quite movie. Ya change your be life forever.
Advice back also and to you.
I find out.
Papa, we all say our British passport for over 5-6 years. Now always at maybe as my uncle found way over or Chamaye. It's kind of bored in that. It's so scout. You know, scout with me. I go find my abba. One time more, or an admin say, or better say, or evidence, say, Colano reliable, Nessuroso Tio, Swiss, maybe, home office fee near lawyer fee of its guarantee. And I would idea, say, Amana, be my advice and say, we are so be Janet Preco, main claims or China, because we need or China de brain.
That's right. Until I'm penny for kind or say abua or pity or say dachi missy medan. De bien so tra and what can say semono. Abua or pete as if we are smooth soon until no do need fear and an one babe ye fe. Until no be dismina so because obo 40 more soon. Share bibia. Tomorrow is not for you. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Because over fan cray by AB and Cassie, their life will improve. But for me, I'm more interested in lessons that can be learned rather than mistakes that people do. And say, share also so Busa say a dear lesson, Anna also ubetimi esua a free sa situation. Yenina yensua in frame. Yensua be in frame because everybody. And very good. Me make inquiries, now I share what the situation is. Me pacho obiso so abaso yemfa na yentie dia ono so beka. Hello. Okay, pacho the number ended 542 no. Say o switch radio ni my switch radio ni off native free telephone is why. Oh, okay. Let me say why you confused. Okay, mpamacho P say obi fra on radio na nasa phone na wutie program ni free so no switching it off and I say lower cra native free phone now dey friend so enye sa se wutie free radio snap so to voice there's a transmission delay about 1 minute and the time I say kasa no one kasa no din because we so tie free radio so it take 1 minute for you to hear it and the ban sa na e ma program no inflow and the message p say ofra na radio no o dey to mute the odie program no o dey to mute. Am I? Why? I'm for be good so pa until they no frown say ntimi amfa no also so obetimi idea also obetimi afre. Okay. Hello. Okay. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon to you. I'm Pacho. Mini ababe na ka say.
But your friend Ajua, me free London.
Ajua, me say friend Ajua any view dey na to aso. Ajua Jima. Okay, Ajua yanko.
Me Pacho, no person in business say my EU settlement scheme no me application in February and I'm called me so much. I say how long does it take when you any certificate of application but
yeah, and the settlement scheme no be under normal circumstances no nanka ache kra no within a month or 2 there nanka pa na embom sometimes no ana e be depend evidence are the beko any inquiries a home office will be making. Some of the applications, if you're making inquiries, are not taking long. Now, I'm a decision taking, so are taking long. Now, say because of COVID-19, our home office are suspending most of their operations. As I speak to you, home office, they are not working. Very few are working from home. So more, and like I say, you to was kakra emma why? And ebeba wonsa beka. Why? Mami Jima. No shaking. Why? Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. Papa, okay. Mami Fisu timi jina aswa na ono so yemfa no. Okay. I say, Papa, you trust or be fresh so many times, but time be free be and just say, Untimi Imbrim. Etime fa me friend back now, it's just yetimi idea. Afa no, so deba. Hello, Pachola Yadaku ni Facebook ni or Facebook Live.
Yadaku me Pacho Mami Plus ni.
Mami Plus, let us say.
Aye. Yami Antomboko, now also swear.
Your bumpire, because any man shall say move to the right direction. Your bumpire say BC so pepe.
The radiasi, Yamisha Vibre, Yeti Bribia, Nana, the person me freebies I say, and you be a mime Jumami, which you know day, and me baby, and you may be to me, and you can be Amano, Amayana.
And no, not ye hope for no, because what they are saying is say, we social worker, we social worker, the worker, sa listing so. Ombetimi grante an extension for free on the basis of social worker and also apply for extension. So time no ana endiamboy in some ways because senaka winyanye ya nanka dinewurem nanka cover. But unfortunately it's happening after our sort of out no. Enti amana bibibibi. Now what they are also saying is which is a bit annoying. I think that people should actually start campaigning against it. And in your time, I'm start a petition. What they are saying is say we a social worker, just a woo and send your mom by indefinite. And you have to die first before your children benefit from it.
Wow.
Who say a bit crazy? Unbelievable. You know, and my kid was saying, why not to say, I don't know, more spreading it out to say, hey, beer, key workers, social workers, doctors, NHS staff, you better grant your mama indefinite for their dedication and for their support during this pandemic. Now, Moka said, just any panel answer. And you know, my dream, to be honest, it makes no sense. And Tinipani and Sana Yabuan. Who said it doesn't make sense?
It doesn't make sense at all,
but also policy so the bar sebio government we nipa adebi o ha unya time and who deep because across the policies about this week in no the bank for criticize here no much change no much change and says here and then many who say e crazy no me baba started petition na Ghana for besremo you started BBC amomfa mo hunjim because MRP no who push no na 140 now, obi kra de obu abem. Oh, hey, nkosi aga enye hwe. Share democracy. I would say this to you. When the current death penalty, it got abolished in this country in 1965. Enye bibianti o, eye public opinion. Public opinion. David Silverman, or the private members bill by parliament. I said the death penalty doesn't solve anything, and therefore we have to get rid of it. One man campaign, unya support, a gather momentum. They had to abolish death penalty in the UK. And to be said gather momentum, and it is a democracy, government by the people, for the people, to the people. So one for one jima, there would never going to be any change. And it seems like impossible. But Nelson Mandela says something. It is always impossible until it is done. And to you and I, so we started campaign na some deba also sign be. Ma obi who say policy no crazy. I didn't think they say ni penny and said an indefinite. It make no sense at all. And ni penny tiase no. And they say kai no. Ye many penny and ya baba yen hwehwe animu. Enipa wo tiase a ana wo hiamoa. Ye ntwa ma wo and say ya say enipa no yo. Until me last week me ka say me wu a me yase cry don't come and cry. Because you say you are resting in peace. Say me resting in peace, maybe you should share Muslim or me yasi. Name remember the good times. Say me resting in peace. Now be jina and you are disturbing my peace. I don't want no one to disturb me. Enti na meti ase no. Oba appreciate me whilst I'm alive. Me nipa ni mu na me yehwe mu. We have to be real. Enti policy na sa na tie. Nipa ni mu asa. And send na nema enya benefit from it. It's crazy. It's mad. So who MP a Mesro P, send an email to your MP. I said they should do something about it. So unimu MP mpo, there is a website called They Work For Us. They Work For Us. Just Google that. Google that. Or because you put your postcode. Do postcode ni shame and now MP details are better so, including your MP. Exactly. Ayana a bit dependent. So on the type of case I would call. Ebia making obitiano, for example, Onin Krata or just section 17 support, a bind the session. We are not Sakojina MP or say MP Monsama Menkrata. Oh, 2 o'clock, you are not doing anything positive to help. So in some circumstances, I'm not saying a room for more. But they make what you say. Interna a bit dependent the type of case and the circumstances. And I say when say MPs no, they are different. You need to know the type of your MP that you have. Yemfane say o MP, for example, with example nam dey yo. O MP British National Party your friend say person I invite ya man say your MP. No akogina say o immigration problem. Who is at the end of it? And can be a do and it's a constituency, bombardino, bombardino, ukunu bombardino, umegina di goodness, so they will pay attention. And now we are living under extraordinary times. Point out the policy. I said the policy is discriminatory against people in the sense that you have to die in order for your children to benefit from it. It's unfair and it's crazy. And to those who survive in India, their children will not benefit from it, and therefore it's discriminatory. And to Abia, yes, our police, no matter so. And now you reminded them. And it's now you're afraid, baby said democracy, check and balances. Baron de Montesquieu. So it's a very important it's a very good part, very good, so raise, It's two very good, important areas. Mr. Sona, I need to look at. Na ebia meko petition website. Must start a petition, Now my shall spread it around. See it mean over 10,000. Parliament will be forced to debate it. Ebia.
And you're moving forward, say, draft me beat down the back of my MP, but before then, forward the go through a mommy before I do that.
And yes, send them through WhatsApp wine because I don't have access to the to my email until Monday.
Okay. All right.
And to ya meeting me. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes, share na person so fra usubeti me afre. Amanfo abegu so pa na phone e ba akopɛ enti mo fan chain. Try say be the best out of the situation that we are in. It's not perfect, but we will do the best that we can. Madam Paulina Kofi, you've also joined us. Thank you for joining us. What do you deserve award because award is the SEBA. Because your support to Justice and Law support to Justice and Law solicitors and Fire Life Radio is unbelievable. And also for all the good work and for spreading Fire Life Radio and Justice and Law to a lot of people. We do appreciate that and we thank you. Say also so ofra about 2 o'clock. We've gone on for nearly 3 hours now. And Gusopa say also opesa ofra by all means. And then make us say now your friend say Nubian ladies and Nubian gentlemen. Moso matemo kapa. Now with the masipi meaning say and so mushe program no Morocco, maybe I will be a michiachia. Nubian ladies and Nubian gents. So maybe I will be a michiachia 21st of June. By all means, Mbetiminka live and colored. Yadin Sempano Abraham. And I'm so Juma Moody Edebo group in so Yankopo Ensham. Sana I was a Ghana for you na ye na your boy your honey boy because obinim echina asem. Aha. tina penifo say humani so mame entina atwen mienu enam no entino sana etie ti yemo ye ho na yemo ye ho moden na yentimi emo ye ho na yenko yenim sana etie se opese oso fra oso ubetimi afre na yenua bai efre ma menhwe se metimi afre ne baka or sending message now sending message I try some friend back go 2 numbers and I want my phone so entino measure say metimi enyana enye sadia na chese I will encourage you to call back again mama try bi se menyana o se de bia ofra wonya entino I was me try some my friend se menyana no question na the question I want no so etimi ebusa ebia ebebie ekwan ama obi anase ebebie epono bi ama obi enti no me try say me so me dey me friend enti say also o question bi a osu betimi afre je me kan say o hwe your life a osu betimi aye dey a share program no of all your loved ones said they are so betimi aye dey are benefiting from today's program enti no by all means say o person o send a message and also be see redo message and also so you betimi aye dey you betimi every day o message okay yeah share Facebook say obi the question about I'm going through as we speak. I say please lawyer, what about NHS surcharge on NHS staff, carers and their family members? A very good question. Let me say a faminiso and thank you very much Nana Ajaman. Say the Yenichiano NHS you're making announcement say oya mama NHS now and I say oya carer and also a social worker immigration health surcharge fees they are going to give you a waiver. That means you do not have to pay. But at the moment, people say immediate effect and I say immediate effect. Announcement has been made, but as I speak to you, say, oh yeah, application now. Unfortunately, at the moment, it will still ask you to make the payment. But me pretty convinced, me sure say Home Office at the policy paper at some point. Say obia wetwe bia no edipano empoji ni sika back. Me pretty sure said this will happen at some point. Enti enoso no yen keep an eye. Na eba ni sana na chese we wutwa bia no and if you qualify nko ande a osu betimi akọ back no akọ ju sika. Enti sana etie as we know no Kestam during the course of the week did ask this question at Parliament. Or asking this question at Parliament, Parliament, but Boris Johnson can say no, it will stay. Go out on a Thursday night. Boris Johnson said it will stay, but because of pressure, public pressure, then they decided to change it, and very important. What Keir Starmer said in relation to the victory. That came about as a result of pressure from the public and the need to recognize the hard work being done by NHS staff and their family members. Okay, mambe 1 minute. Na memo na yenina yenye na yenti de Keir Starmer ekai. Obusa this question at Parliament. Obusa, now Boris Johnson said no. It's going to be what it is. They have to pay. Afi public a chassis is so on a Thursday night and clap our health workers and our care workers, and yet when they come from overseas, then surcharge them for using the NHS. I challenged the Prime Minister about this yesterday at Prime Minister's questions. Asked him to reconsider. He's now done a U-turn. That's a good thing. A victory for common decency. With the Masuma Labour leader, or say a victory for common decency. Say people are helping us. Whilst you and I running from COVID-19, they are running to face death and COVID-19. And that would be the decent thing. You bet me, I am NHS staff members. And Nyamia Adam fees, and we say government or U10 as you say or say on charge beam and NHS staff and their family members they are going to benefit from this. One thing that I nearly forgot that I must also say is compulsory quarantine. Say UFBA UK, to say UK government the policy about or the policy about say 14 days say over UK we British national say unya British national na say unya be UK nkwa from June. I think the date is 8th of June. There's going to be compulsory quarantine. Compulsory quarantine, and don't say you don't to baby. Now, what the government is proposing, they say, what they would do, they say, Oba, on better details. Say if you're now they want you to put yourself in self-isolation, whereby you will just be in your house, you will not be going anywhere. At any time, they have people who can come and check on you. Now say, breaky quarantine, not just say, no, you'll be given a fine of up to about £1,000. And also so say, to kwaya, I say, bear this in mind. I say, baka, you are going to go on quarantine. So this is something I say I'm for a year aware of, because you simply never know, what is around the corner. Immigration law, there's so much changes every day that is coming up, and sometimes you are even losing track of what is happening within the immigration law. So people should watch out and bear this in mind. Before these changes were made, this cleaner in a hospital made a very, very passionate speech or audio to the Prime Minister. I did put that on my Facebook wall before the announcement was made. I'm going to play that so that we can also hear.
Hello, Mr. Prime Minister. My name is Hassan Ahad, and I am proudly working as a cleaner in a hospital 10 miles away from the hospital which you were in. I joined around the same time, actually, because I wanted to help this nation overcome this pandemic. I've been really enjoying the clapping that you and your fellow ministers in the government do every week. Today, however, I felt betrayed, stabbed in the back. I felt shocked to find out that your government decided to exclude myself and my colleagues who work as cleaners and porters and social care workers who are we're all on minimum wage. You've decided to exclude us from the bereavement scheme. So if I die fighting coronavirus, my partner isn't allowed an indefinite leave to remain. This is your way of saying thank you to us. Now, I'm sending you this message hoping that you will reconsider. Because I did see a humble Boris after you were discharged from hospital. I saw a different Boris. So, us migrants are on the front line doing these very demanding jobs to help this nation overcome this pandemic. And the least you can do, if we die, to give our families indefinite leave to remain. Please reconsider.
This video was done before the announcement was made, which basically the Prime Minister, they have extended the scheme to cover other people such as social workers. So please, if you are watching me live today, there's so much going on in terms of immigration and nationality law. There's been so many announcements that sometimes you don't even know what they mean by what they say. So if lawyers, we are confused, I can imagine what you are going through or what you are thinking. So if you do not understand anything, check with your lawyers before you jump into anything. Typical example, for me, my advice remains the same. If you are on a 10-year route to indefinite or 5-year route to indefinite, getting the 1-year visa for free is not going to change anything, because you still have to make 4 or 2 applications in order to get the indefinite. You still have to pay twice or 4 times before you can get indefinite. So in my view, switching to get the 1 year free, is it going to make any difference? What are the implications? Because at the moment, things are being rushed. So much is being said, and you don't know the intentions behind that. So for me, if you are on a 10-year route, you are working for the NHS, and you have the money, and your extension is up, I will encourage you to stick to your plan to indefinite. Why am I saying this? Because Home Office policy under COVID-19 also specifies that those who already have visa and living in the UK, those people who already have visa and living in the UK, they should continue to renew their visas. And now we are being told something else. This is where, for me, it gives me concern. I'm a bit concerned in the sense that you don't want to go and take something for free, and then tomorrow they're going to say something else. So for me, if you have the money and you are on a 10-year route, forget the 1 year for free. Just stick to your plan and get your indefinite at the end of the 10 years. If you are a holder of a visa and is due for renewal, you are on the 5 years plan. Once again, do the best that you can and stick to your 5-year plan and forget the 1 year. The reason being that the 1 year is not going to make any difference in relation to how long it's going to take you or how much you are going to pay in order to get your indefinite leave to remain. So this is something that I think people have to consider. Thank you very much, John Mark. Paul Kwame, thank you for joining us. Kwabena Atana, thank you very much for joining us. Justin Austin, thank you for joining us. Richmond Adai, thank you for joining us. Kwajo Tete Edo, thank you for joining us. Nana Himashila Echampon, thank you for joining us. If you have a question, by all means, the lines are activated. We have about 10 minutes, and I'll bring this program to an end because we've been going for the past 3 hours. My throat is dry, my mouth is getting dry. I need to bring the program to an end as soon as possible. So by 1:15, that will be 3 hours, 15 minutes. We will bring the program to an end. So if you have any question, by all means, you can ask the question. Before we go, and before someone calls, something that I also have to bring to your attention is very, very important, because in the past, I have advised people, but I've realized that there has been some changes which has not been announced. So I'm going to say this. Do not attack me, because the advice that I gave was the right advice at the time. But at the moment, I have seen that the advice ought to change. The reason why it ought to change is that it seems to me that the Home Office policy in relation to this type of situation has also changed. So, what is this about? This is about the English certificate, the English test certificate. You know, when you are coming to the UK to join your spouse who is British or who has got an indefinite leave, the test that you are supposed to do is level A1 English test. Once you come to the UK, you have to do at least level A2 to get an extension. And when it comes to indefinite leave to remain, then you have to have at least level B1 extension, level B1 English in order to do that. That was the case. However, when you look at, or those days, or some few months ago, when you look at Home Office list of acceptable referees, you will see that the test, they have a deadline of 2 years. They had a deadline of 2 years, i.e. that the test certificate is valid for 2 years. But recently, I went to check again when they updated their list of acceptable referees. And when I went to check, the 2 years have disappeared. So then I start asking myself, this is strange. I have been advising people to go and redo the test, even though they have level B1, which is enough to see them through up to British citizenship. But they had that clause that is valid for 2 years. All of a sudden, it has disappeared. So what does that mean? So I went back to check of the Home Office rules again. And this time, they said that if you have used acceptable certificate from acceptable provider, and provided that the provider is still on their list of acceptable organizations that can issue such certificate, then of course they will accept a certificate that you have used previously. What I'm saying is just too much, so let me try and break it down. So basically, if you have used level B1 certificate to enter the UK to join your spouse, and it is 2 years or more, under the current rules, you can use it again. You don't have to resit the exams if you are going for an extension. If you have already used one to get an extension and you are going for indefinite, you can still use the same certificate to apply for indefinite. The reason being that what the 2 years have all of a sudden disappeared from the list of acceptable referees. And that means, in short, Home Office must accept it. And if you look at the rules, I think it's rule 34. I think it's rule 34 or 12. One of them is listed there. So by all means, you should be able to do what? You should be able to use it. So all those people who are due to extend under the spousal route, if you have already done the test and you have used level B1, the rules is that you do no longer need to do another test because that 2 years requirement has disappeared. And therefore, my calculation is that you should be able to use it. And we have the law on our side to defend it. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lawyer. God bless you very much for the kind work that you are doing. I'm really grateful and I appreciate you for giving such free advice. I've got 2 questions that I've got you that I will be grateful if you can help me answer. First one is I've got a problem with the Home Office, especially we Ghanaians. That you come here and you're going to apply for your citizenship or something. That, I don't know whether it's indefinite or applying for a British book. You need to write an English test. I've got a problem with that issue. Because one thing I know is the Caribbeans are not supposed to write it, but we are supposed to write it. But then I know we were colonized by the British government or British colony. And we have English as our second language. Ghanaians, we are not people who can speak and write. Most of us, even in Ghana, as I'm speaking now, we live in that country, and majority of the citizens in Ghana are speaking English rather than Twi. But then it baffles me when we have to write such English test, which is like a test that a class 5, a class 3 candidates in Ghana can do. Just going to sit down to write this test before you can submit your application. I have a problem with it. I'll be grateful if you can address this issue for me. That's the first one. Okay. And the second one is to do with infinite as well, and working as you've been mentioning what the new changes is referring to as the key workers. And it's been NHS. What about us that we don't work for NHS, but we are still key workers because we work for council? We are looking after COVID patients in the house and all that. Are we excluded or we are included? If we are included, on what capacity can we take the chances of? Because the communication is not very clear. They are saying one thing every time, and even recently it was announced that key workers who are willing to be on the housing ladder are going to get some sort of waiver or some sort of 30% off or something on a mortgage. But is it just NHS people? They do say it, but the implementation too is another thing. So when they say things like this, do they give a deadline or a time limit where, okay, at least if they clarify it enough that we've said it, but the implementation is going to be starting from maybe August, September, then people know. But when you just say it as an open-ended question, it's difficult for you to keep track of what is said and what is being established and what's actually happened on the ground. I'll be grateful if you can maybe explain this to me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The first question is something that a lot of people have raised. Once again, I will always say this. In order to bring change, people need to speak up, you see. And when nobody speaks up, then it means that whatever it is acceptable. And therefore, we are happy with it. Once again, Ghana, in fact, English is not our second language. English is our official language. And therefore, it's our first language. So it baffles me as well as to when it comes to this. We are being excluded. Like you rightly said, the Caribbean, they are exempted because they are being treated, in a special way as compared to maybe other Commonwealth countries. This is something that it can be argued it's not fair. And therefore, how do you bring about a change? You bring about a change by getting in touch with the lawmakers, which is our MPs, you see. And therefore, for me, it's very, very important. Either we start a petition to petition Parliament to force them to have a debate about this, and anyone can start a petition. All that you have to go to the petition website, just put in starting a petition on Google. It will take you there. They will ask very simple informations. It takes about 24 hours and the petition will go live. And then we all circulate it within our communities. And we need to campaign and get at least about 10,000 people to sign. Ghanaians in this country, we are more than 10,000. The challenge is that a lot of our people, unfortunately, and I have to say this, I say this with regret, that when they get to a certain stage, they don't want anyone to get there. They don't care.
Exactly. That's our
attitude.
nature.
That's the mindset.
We always want people to remain on the lower levels so we can always have upper hand. It's not fair.
It's not right.
There should be a change in the way we think.
Exactly. So today, we are all getting involved and we have to change the mindset. And we don't have to be observers. We have to participate in what is happening so that we can bring about change. It's unfair because everyone is just wasting money writing exam, which is ridiculous, but it's happening. You go there, they ask you, what is your name? Sometimes it's a joke. You listen to it and you start thinking, why? This is a joke. But it is. It's a policy. No one is doing anything about it. No one is campaigning against it. No one is bringing it to the authorities' attention. And as a result, it's becoming a bit like normalized. So what I would say is that we can get in touch with our MPs and put these questions to our MPs. If you don't know your MP, you just go to They Work For Us. Just Google it. It will take you straight there. Put in your postcode, and then your MP's details will come up with a link about an email. And put that question to an MP. I don't think they'll be able to answer that question because perhaps personally, I don't have an answer for that question because it's a legitimate question that I don't think it can be justified in any other way. Because Ghana, our official language or first language is supposed to be English. Then why are we exempted? It's not nice. It's not fair. And therefore, I totally sympathize with what you are saying. I totally, wholeheartedly, 100% agree with what you are saying. But how do we bring about change? We all have to work together to bring about change. So, my dear sister, if you're able to start the petition, I will do the best that I can to do what to promote it. At the moment, I have taken 2 cases that I'm going to start petition on one. So it's going to make me a bit busy this afternoon. Yeah, please, if you can, just hook me up at David Darko on Facebook. Just send me the link. At least I have about 8,000 followers. I'll be able to pass it on and encourage people to also sign it so that we can bring about change. If the 8,000 people following me, just say 5,000 sign it, and we get 5,000 from somewhere else, we would have moved forward with it. We can do something. So let's use our time on Facebook, on social media to bring about positive change. It's very, very important. Make sure you Number 2, question Busai is the open-ended question or goal or agenda or post that they keep pushing. That one too, you are right. Because, for example, the NHS fees exemption for family members and whatnot. They said that, it's coming into effect with immediate effect. I tried to do application yesterday and still they are charging. So that immediate effect, what does that mean? So one is hoping that they will also bring a scheme. I mean, in some ways, I also sympathize with them because things are moving so fast. And as a result, it looks to me that there is a panic that has set in. People start complaining, oh my God, let's do this, let's do that. So they don't get time to think. They just do things impulsively. And therefore, it's causing more confusion. Because 1 minute, they are saying something else. The next minute, they are saying something else. So we are all confused. I am confused about some of these policies. So once again, you are right. I agree with you that it's so unclear of what is happening. But things are moving so fast. But all that I'm saying is we need to keep an eye. So when the iron is hot, then you can strike. So that's what I would say to that. But whenever there's any update, I will come here and basically update people what is happening and what can be done. So by all means, follow us and by all means, update you as well.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have also appreciate you.
We are really grateful. I'm a member of
Nubian Queens, yes. Thank you very much, Nubian Queens. Thank you for the thank you for the invitation. We also appreciate that. Thank you very much.
We have to say thank you to you because aside all your visits, you accepted our invitation to come and be of help. We are really grateful and God bless you.
It's my hope and my prayers that we use our time effectively and positively to bring about positive change in our society. You see, there is a quotation in the Bible, I think 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 1. Unless I'm mistaken, but I think it is. See, David went to the house of Saul and he asked, is there anyone left in the house of Saul for the sake of Jonathan so that I may do a favor?
That's when Mephibosheth came into play.
That's right. So for me, that quotation, it means a lot to me. And to be honest with you, I think it's one of the best quotations in the Bible. Because ebia echina bi na ebia me ho akere me obi tie lo yada kon so oh papa we na ema free advice on the radio no for the sake of that I will do him a favor ebia echina bi na me nua bi number bi ono so de ono de obenda ko obi tie me nka o ti din na or say is there anyone left in the house of lawyer Daku so that I may also do a favor and we are so na mo a fa adwene pa eni akoma pa enam na ebeye inshiramo. Se kase asoria coronavirus cannot close the church, but it can close it can close the church building, but not your heart. That's right. And Nubian Queens and Kings, we salute you. We thank you for the invitation, and we will honor that invitation. We appreciate that. God bless you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yes. I'm saying time, you spend the kama. You spend 3 hours, 22 minutes, into the program, ebeba neviye. Yadamasi program, Monshe MIA, Mr. Emmanuel, or say, Kwejo, baby, also will be a churchill, share program, no MIA. Obi biara, or the two bia, on so and share program, MIA, na yenianom, and benefited from program, any changes are also in terms of immigration and nationality. Things are changing so much that sometimes we are all lost. We are chasing updates. And anytime that there's any update, of course, we will bring it to you. I thank you very much for tuning in this morning, this afternoon, Mr. Foster Akubila. We thank you all. Those people that I was unable to mention your names, do forgive me. We do appreciate you all and we thank you for tuning in. And those people who sent or who tried to get in, they couldn't get in. We also thank you for tuning in. Mr. Michael Amma from Paradise City. Also, thank you very much. If you are watching us and you are looking for a building, a place to buy, I will only recommend Paradise City. Just go on the internet, just Google it. Go to their website, look at what they are offering, get in touch. They will also help you to get a mortgage. They will make a referral. And then you can get your own mortgage. By all means, you can also do it yourself. The time that you buy land and build a house, forget it. It's no more. It's gone forever. These days, you have to buy a bespoke house. Speak to Paradise City If you want it in a certain way, they may be able to speak with you. Whatever they have on offer, they will also be able to tell you exactly what they can do for you. So by all means, get in touch with them. Next week, I will bring their telephone number and their contact details that you will be able to get in touch with them. On top of my head, I cannot remember their contact number. So Mr. Amma, if you can type it out for me, I'll be very grateful so that I can put the number out there for people to also to sign. Someone is saying the petition should involve our Nigerian brethren because we have a common goal. I think, in fact, it should be Commonwealth citizens. They should be exempted from taking the English test so that we can pass it and we can get a lot of people to sign it as well. It's very, very, very important. Mr. Kwachi Zigzagging. Hey, also, thank you very much for joining us. If you call me and you're unable to get me, please do the best that you can. Send a message, send an audio, send a text, because I have only one phone at the moment, and I'm using that phone to work as well. So it's a working phone, and it's making it almost impossible. It's very, very difficult for me to be able to use that to answer people's telephone calls as well. So if you call me and you are able to get me, please send a text, a short message about what it's about, and I will then be able to call you back at the right time, if at all possible. So we thank you very much for tuning in. We do appreciate your time. Like I said, we want people to share the program as much as you can. Last week, we had over 200 shares. The program went very, very far. Today, we've only got about 80 shares. It's not encouraging. So let's try the best that we can. Let's share it to every group that we have. Let's share it on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, everywhere, so that people can get benefit from today's program. Okay, that is fine. We have a lot of people also. Meta Martin Osei, also thank you for joining us. Mami Bedu, thank you for joining us. Yao, thank you for joining us. Pilolo, it's like, so many people, they've all tuned in, watching us live. Nanaya Berima, you also thank you very much for joining us. I always say this country, if someone, not this country, the world that we live in, if someone spend a minute of their time on you, that person is your God. If someone goes out of their way to do you any favor, that person is your God. If that person even wastes their time to listen to you, that person is your God. And therefore, the fact that you have wasted your time listening to what I had to say today, you are all my God. And I do appreciate for tuning in, for taking your time to share the program. I'm very, very grateful to you as well. Because like they say, it takes two to tango. Now, etipayebe kruma, sebio, abwa wokoto, eye nechira sem. Uye nipa uye ganeni, tema ewo mudie. Me sure say unye bi hu chire na osubeye oya kakra. And how do we go about preventing it? Yenche program no. Ebia policies abe, ebia na wunu ebiti baby. On the onyenya opportunity to be able to listen. Ebia de kwa komano no na eso abamfa so ama no. Enti ebesre pi, yemfa modewru, yemfa ni konkonsa. Na yen spread it, said ya obisubenya ho emfaso. Enti la yadakun ana motie me no. La yadakun ana motie me nka no. Bedamase pi. Nyankopon enka mo ho na onhyira mo na onye mo kese. De dem akoma so bia no onye mabo. Na emomye kan suso ene ha me no kasai. Obi nim akina asem nti no. Enu nti na yesi utu kwan na wahwe wachi. Na efie ni fie eye dia yebesa akoyechi. Ebia wote kromu a onye wadwene so obesi dan wo Ghana. Dachi asem nti o. Dachi asem nti. Enti na yede Paradise City ebremo ena awie. Se opese o get in touch omo number any 0044 333 011 7724. The reason why I'm the country code never can one say enkrofo bebre guso a omutie ebi outside the UK. And he said your mom fra ombetimi about the right number. So who are UK so dear? Over start here with 0333 011 7724. Also ubetimi afre sa number na one Paradise City for idea atwe enkomo. Na opeso a ubetimi send the omo email say oye internet savvy kakra ubetimi send the email. Enti o send the email neso a ombe respond. Na email address neso so any memfa entudwa. Eye info@paradisecitygh.com. Mesan SCBM info info at paradise PARADISE and then city is CITY and then GH Ghana GH.com. O send you omo email a omsubetimi ene wedi asawaso na omososo idea aba behwe situation namo na wetimi idea etimi enya wodan kama enti Mr. Kwame Bedi ososo wa join na ase da wasipi anti Paradise City wo from ma ombeso to bibia out ama enti no sebio de be kasa asemwe sebio any part where you have to do smart investment. So what part any puna de rent amasa obeto kasisia obewie no say your free house minim crofo ma sha se yes ade ni bi because Ghana sebio yet was saying actually so every 2 years bi no akofa 1 week bi no asaba e dan ni siwa esiwo kwa obetimi rent oni Paradise City for etwe nkomo a obetimi aboa. Pastor Archie ebia will be also ye chiachi. Thank you very much for your prayers all the time. Shekinah Glory also ye chiachi. Thank you very much. Shekinah Glory the message about intimate reading message. I mean, just meet me answer mana. Or say, please, my question is about free visa extension for NHS staff. Can spouse visa holders in the NHS apply? Spouse visa holders, what they say is that the policy itself is for NHS staff, you see. And therefore, if you're a family member at the moment, you know, what they are saying is the waiver, no, instead of the IHS fees, you know, and not from what they are saying, it be applicable. I say, oh yeah, away. In terms of the extension for 1 year, no, I know what they said. They say, who say any panel, say, oh yeah, application, and I say, who need leave with yeah. I say, who apply, who hear no family members meeting your account. Now, Ekobani say, one kasano who indefinite, and also get a British passport. Now say you are not going to do an application there. From what they are saying, the wording suggests to say, you not intimate extension on that basis because you are not applying, and therefore your wife will not have the benefit of it. So if you look at the wording now, sana or air patchy, name say wife, you know, so yeah, you or can't one of these key workers who they are, then in that case, you know, the wording suggests to say obetimi idea, obetimi qualify. Now, I mean, Shana Mensa instead mu be now entertainment any clear in terms of what has been said or how what has been announced in terms of the NHS scheme and also family members. As already explained, you know, as I come back now could be audio what they say, and they say, you see, in terms of the extension, you know, and yes, straight away, there's a condition that is attached to it. And what the Home Office said, they said, they announced on 31st of March that around 2,800 doctors, nurses, and paramedics with leave to expire by 1st of October will get a free 1 year extension. You see, so doctors, nurses, and paramedics with leave that is going to expire. That is what they said on 31st of March. And you know, say, wife, any NHS worker, in that case, you know, that means unqualified. Okay. On 29th of March, Anamsa announced say, They are extending the scheme to cover other frontline workers, including midwives, radiographers, social workers, and pharmacists, who has got visa that is about to expire by 1st of October. And therefore, 1 year extension, so wife, any one of these are unqualified. And so, oh yeah, that's all British passport, and so you're indefinite. Basically, as soon as man for swama, and you know, and then I say, oh yeah, away. Yes, a wife and Ankasano, or you're one of these fall within these professions. And you're aware of this. But the NHS scheme, no, and also now almost can be said. Family members of NHS worker who die from COVID-19 will get indefinite. Family members of NHS workers. And then as I say, almost I extended to NHS support staff and social workers. So in this case, question Busayano, I mean Fasama, se who free man, se who and or you money indefinite. Se who ye key worker, who are Obanemani or you money indefinite and oma. Name one would ya young famano. And when I used to start and say a bit ridiculous. Just a one answer and send when at the benefit. Why do you have to die before you benefit from something? It's crazy. And you know, and I say I'm thinking I'll say start a petition on that. Yeah, send it around so that at least people can benefit whilst they are alive. And you can't watch them. In terms of the NHS fees, you know, unfortunately, so your family member, you will not have a benefit, but you have to be a key worker in order to benefit from it. And let me say my answer or question now. Let me say time no according pa and you know I've been talking for 3 hours 31 minutes 37 seconds, which is a lot of time. And you better take a break. Sebio penny for say okay say too much and from so never. And you know yebeko ama obiaba you be afra into the yam fan and don so e dey bray e be na do dey ba no e be benefit you be so. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon to you. Pacho din dey say na kase free.
Lawyer Pacho Ebreme Dazi mi kasa free reading.
Kum Dazi.
Aye.
Okay. Now anyway, I didn't bit ya Mr. Dazi from Reading.
And I read the bro, me Ghana Nina, Yachivan scholarship. You know, University of Reading. Mommy, 1 year, 6 months. The scholarship no condition is a we are a Ghana and could be at least 2 years and Ghana. Say meet me up can you come as I about me yeah. You want so me a carer. And I say the all kind in the material program in and I say a quite view of our meeting me the upper extension.
It's interesting. In the sense that, you know, your case is a special case. What I've talked about basically is a general kind of stuff. In your case, you know, your visa has got conditions and there is that expectation. And so once you finish your course, you must come back to Ghana. And therefore, the Ghana government will also be expecting you to come back.
No, where the Ghana government they expect children's scholarship in the UK government scholarship.
UK government scholarship.
Yeah.
Okay, and the basis is that you need to go back.
Yeah.
And when I think it's a big problem, you know. But in the light of this COVID-19 situation and UK being desperate, you know, for people to stay and work, it's possible that they may overlook that. And you know, you can try and apply and see what they say. You know, because at the moment, you know, we need people in this country, people like you. And therefore, sometimes a policy may be there, but because of circumstances, sometimes it does change. It can be overlooked. Because as I speak to you, minimum no awareness, none of this for about 6 months. What they call baby, mama messing up. You know, not to be honest, or friend, I'm investing in case, you know, because not visa, no, the chances of succeeding are less. Me explain it, no, but my sister, no, I'm a client. Or friend me pa macho mommy pressure. I don't say mommy, me application. I don't want to lose you. Me a bad loser. Me person me be ko refuse you. Na any no. Though my catching is say 50-50. You could refuse in a pet or the median and my reputation is very, very important to me. omo pama chose lawyer wo de baby ayenye yede mpabo beta echire. To my surprise, the application me putting in mitigation and the irrelevance of living and applying to come back and economic consequences. Home Office accepted it and they granted the visa, to my surprise. Oh, I'm a nipano, and remuneso coffee, but I'm an coffee. I'm an enough for in a young mama. Africa, they say, hey, lawyer or connection with Home Office, and then they can be plain. Me new connection beyond the Home Office. If we are say a young piebo, any hard work. Bibi any baby oh, a hard work in
This is
empire.
Cabrana, me ban wa OT program na me TV. Your number.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
My number na I get in touch na with time na me no be communicating. Go me listen the be next year March.
Okay. No problem. Ebedi nkomo.
Me no be communicating na ma he wa ebiti.
Afaso.
Mo abiti me dey abo me na ya the first week.
No problem at all. Why? To the ebedi nkomo. Why? To a friend about sister ni na me hu no. Why?
Minister Stella.
Okay.
Your number, you send a message,
oh,
text message or Facebook.
Oh,
your program.
Okay. And maybe a family so machines need doors. Okay, no problem. We'll be so friendly and fun. Why? That's it.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Hello. Hey, Mommy Bedu, what one more fee? Nah, it is saying.
Petition now you are proposing to have, no?
Yeah.
The word was carefully, the sentence was carefully worded. One cadet who will die wasn't who have died. It's nothing to do with the expectation of death.
Mm-hmm.
It was to compensate. The word is not compensation, but the bereaved, to make life a bit easier for them.
Yeah.
It's who have died.
Yeah.
We are not expecting people to die from the virus, but we want to be very, emotionally attached to those who have gone.
Yeah.
And see the proposal to petition, and if you can look at it again, the wording was carefully worded.
Okay, thank you very much for this. And important, like I said, no, you have to die in order for them to benefit from it. And say a proposal of the petition, say we have to word it in such a way, say it must cover those people who are working within the sector. They don't have to die first before they get a benefit. Because at the moment, the proposal they say you have to die before you can benefit from the family can benefit from it. I.e., it is a key worker no emuya oba anasa wojere anasa wukunu no omuntimi benefit from the system as it is today. Entina yemo modern say you be petition na yenye na cover all key workers. Not just say omo family members etimia benefited from it as a recognition for their hard work and for the risk that they have taken, so that you and I will live whilst they put their life at risk. Until yadamasipi ese when we feed in at our time and idea a copy into yafa na yafa jumani emma. Also, please, lawyer, what about NHS surcharge on NHS staff, carers, and their family members? Let me say another answer that I said those people they will from the scheme and as an announcement they will benefit from it. And that is how it is. And na on kamo onya mo kese na ne da manumbia no onya mamo edamase nti afa nyume entwam na efa nwie program no. All right. I say text message be so about intima mention I mention see betimi answer be amount for. We'll be sending text message or say or share program no. Now or no person will a question about housing in relation to they are also expecting a child very soon, and therefore it has become urgent for them to need a place before the child is born. In terms of housing, I think I'll probably have to come and talk about this next week. In terms of housing priority. And unfortunately, MSF time frame we'll look at is to only next week. I don't see how that is going to happen. But what I would say is you need to get in touch with your local authority. For example, your local council, and let them know your situation. They will then do assessment as to whether you are eligible for emergency accommodation. In that case, they may be able to support you. So by all means, get in touch. Also, there are charities out there, especially if you are facing homelessness or you are at risk of homelessness, get in touch with your local authority and your local charities. I've seen people have contacted me and they contacted them because of the COVID-19, they provided them with emergency accommodation. So this is what I would suggest you do. The person that sent the text. So please do that. Hopefully, it will work for you. Who again? Let's see if there's any emergency one that I will be able to respond as well. Let's see. Anyway, if I was unable to answer, please do send a text, and at the right time I will respond to you. Someone has sent or said my only concern is to find out what's the type of. Don't worry. Jesus. Okay. So my only concern is to find out what's the type of dog you have and its name. The dog's name is called Marley. Yes, the dog's name is called Marley. Like Bob Marley. So that's what I would say to that. In terms of the breed, I will keep that for now, and I will tell you later. Yeah. So that is what I can say to that. The time is up. Let's go, and thank you all again, and we appreciate. We'll be back next week. So you take care, and may the Lord Almighty God bless you and protect you. We'll be back next week. Dobnado. See ya. Bye. Right. We'll be back next week. See ya. Thank you very much.